Hello பசங்களா, welcome all of you to we need Tamil Nadu. எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா? So many of you were asking me, ma'am, please ma'am, and the human physiology chapters எல்லாம் complete பண்ணுங்க ma'am. அதுக்கப்புறம் slowly you do other chapters. So அதனால today we are going to do locomotion and movement. இந்த chapter weightage பத்தி பார்க்கும்போது students, weightage வந்து last yearல கொஞ்சம் கம்மியா தான் இருந்துச்சு. ஆனா அதுக்கு முன்னாடி வருஷங்கள்ல எல்லாம் the weightage has been good enough. Okay, so அதனால locomotion and movement we are going to do. I hope all of you are super duper excited. Please put a lot of fire emojis in the chat box so I know that all of you have the energy, and then we will directly get into the class. You already know my one shot lectures are super detailed. After this, if you read NCERT, you will be able to absorb the entire chapter, because lot of comments had come for human reproduction, excretion chapter, as well as your breathing and exchange. All the students were super happy that my god ma'am, I finally understood this chapter. So அந்த மாதிரி comments வந்து repeatedா in எல்லா வீடியோஸ்னுமே இருக்கு. So automatically you can understand that how simplified I teach. And students, usually when I teach, I always think that you people don't know anything and you people are small kids. Okay, I do not see you like adults, I do not see you like grown-ups. Okay, I always think that my kids are small and I have to teach them like how I teach a small kid. So அதனால வந்து கொஞ்சம் draw பண்ணி color பண்ணி I'll be teaching. Okay, இந்த எல்லா நோட்ஸுமே we need Tamil Nadu Telegram channel இருக்கும், and also in the description box. Okay வா, ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்? நம்ம வந்து சாப்டர் நேம் பார்க்கும்போது locomotion and movement. என்ன மேம் locomotion na ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், இதுதான் locomotion. இப்போ நான் displace ஆகி, that means from point A to point B I moved, right? So that becomes my locomotion. Then ma'am, what is movement? Movement na இது மாதிரி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், like I'm standing in one place and I'm doing some exercise, I'm moving my hands, I'm doing some dance, okay, like this. Okay, so அதுதான் movement. ஆனா locomotion na நம்ம வந்து ஒரு displacement ஆகும். ஆனா movement na that place only we will stand and do some things. Okay, that is called as locomotion and movement. So chapter name clear ஆ? இப்போ வந்து ஒரு definition கொடுத்துட்டாங்க NCERT ல. So அந்த definition பார்க்கலாம். All locomotions are movement, but all movements are not locomotion. All locomotions are movements. Yes or no? If I want to locomote, that means if I want to get displaced, நான் வந்து movement பண்ணியே ஆகணும். கரெக்ட் தானே? So all locomotions are movement. ஆனா are all movements locomotion? Not necessary ma'am. So அதனால all movements are not locomotion. So இந்த மாதிரி questions வந்து statement based வரலாம், இல்லைனா assertion reason வரலாம். ஓகேவா? So அதனால கண்ணா make sure that you are making note of this. Okay, now students look here. Locomotion meaning what? Moving. Okay, notes வந்து update ஆச்சு, ரொம்ப அழகா இருக்குல்ல all the menus. Okay, so moving away from original position of an organism. And trust me, this is one of the my favorite chapters in human physiology. If you ask me, ma'am, which is your favorite chapter, this is my favorite chapter, and at the end of the class it will become your favorite chapter as well. So make sure that you are watching till the end. Okay, no escaping. We have reached November mid, we have reached. No more escaping, no more saying that ma'am, I'll learn it later, I will do that later. No excuse to kana. Okay, no more excuse. Moving away from the original position of an organism is called as locomotion. And a movement can happen with or without moving away. Understood? With or without moving away from an original position. Correct? No? I can do like this. See? Okay? I can do this. That is movement. Okay? Now, it is always voluntary. It can neither be voluntary or it can be involuntary. It always doesn't have to be in our control. Sometimes it is not in our control as well. Okay, va? Now here, some reflection is coming now, students. I don't know what reflection it is. The switchboard irukum. Okay, so look here students, types of movement. NCERT la the first topic the types of movement. There are 3 types of movement. What are they? Amoeboid movement, ciliary movement, muscular movement, flagellated movement. But ma'am, in the movements I have seen in amoeba, I have seen in paramecium, I have seen it elsewhere, but how is it happening in our body? And the thought varuvilla. So amoeboid movement நம்ம bodyல நடக்கும் students. Now normally amoeboid movement where do you see? Ma'am, I usually see it in amoeba. Correct or not? Okay, I see amoeboid movement in amoeba with the help of what? With the help of pseudopodia. Okay, with the help of pseudopodia. Correct தானே? Correct ma'am, with the help of pseudopodia. ஆனா நம்ம bodyல இது நடக்கும் students. That means there are places where this amoeboid, this squeezing, moving, this does not have a proper shape. Correct. No, this does not have a proper shape. This is a unicellular organism. So because this is a unicellular organism, the movement can be like they can move, squeeze through and go. So amoeboid movement வந்து நம்ம பாடியில எக்ஸாம்பிள் பார்க்கும்போது ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் WBC white blood cells, okay, white blood cells and macrophages. Another macrophages. These two will be doing this amoeboid movement. Ma'am, eppadi ma'am in the amoeboid movement nadakum? So students, for that you have to understand, நம்ம normally நம்ம blood vessel இருக்குல்ல, okay, like this, our capillaries will be there. Now there are going to be small pores, okay, there are going to be small spaces in the capillaries, okay. Now who is going to come out of this space? Imagine your WBC is there, okay, WBC is white color. Now why will the WBC move out like this? See students, in body fluids and circulation I'll teach you, next I'll teach you that chapter. Cell also I'll take, okay. So students, on the time this WBC, what it will do, it will squeeze out of the space in the capillaries. Now the squeezing out of this WBC is called as diapedesis. But ma'am, why are they squeezing out? So imagine students, I am like a police officer. நான் வந்து இங்க பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு crime நடக்குது, immediately I will go and interfere with that crime. No, அது மாதிரி தான் நம்ம பாடியில foreign particle enter ஆகி, like let's say some சண்டை போட்டுட்டு, okay, I'm learning new words. Can you see? Sunda, okay, yes. So they fought, okay, that means WBC is noticing that some foreign particle has entered, it is damaging one of my cells or my tissues. WBC will immediately squeeze out of the capillaries and go and solve that issue. So adu madri da, in the squeezing out of WBC through the capillaries is called as diapedesis. Okay, diapedesis. This we will be studying again in body fluids and circulation. So just keep this in your mind. Okay, diapedesis. Clear? Yes or no? Wait students, I'll reduce the brightness a little. Okay. Okay, okay. I will look little dark, but it's okay. Okay, yeah, now it's better, right? Okay, so white blood cells and macrophages. So this process is called diapedesis. Adukapram students, ciliary movement. Ciliary movement na enna? Ciliary normally where have you seen students? Ma'am, ciliary movement I have normally seen in paramecium. Okay, paramecium, which looks like the sole of the shoe. And the paramecium body la vanda completely they will have cilia. Correct dane? Okay, they will completely have cilia. And the cilia will help in what? It is a hair-like structure types. It will help in the movement. Adu madri namma body le we already know that there are ciliated epithelium. Yes or no? Yes ma'am, we have noticed that there can be cuboidal cells or columnar cells which can have hair-like appearance, like this, hair-like appearance on the top, and they will help in what? They will help in the movement of the oocyte, they will help in the movement of the dust particles. So same thing here also students, we will have, okay, they are present in the lining of the fallopian tube. Lining of the fallopian tube, they are also present in the lining of the bronchioles. So they will help in the movement of dust, transport of the oocyte. So this job will be taken care by this people. So not just in paramecium students, namakku irukka cilia type of movement, and the cilia vanda it will help us. I have already taught you in animal tissues. Okay, if you have not watched animal tissue, please go and watch 4 marks chapter adu vanda. So animal 4 questions chapter. Okay, so on the chapter la I have taught you that the cilia will help. They will be helping in the transport of the secondary oocyte. They'll also help in the, when let's say some foreign particle enter into our body, unidirectionally they will try to push the dust particle outside. Okay, I've already told you this, yes or no? So you should remember that. Okay, okay, yes, understood? Okay, now muscular movement. Okay, so far energy is good. Yes, keep going, okay, and keep asking your friends as well, like, you know, did you understand this, do you have a doubt, like that. You should also keep, like, you know, interacting with your friends. Now students, muscular movement, normally we know our hands, okay, limbs, jaws, all these people are having the movement. Okay, these people are doing the movement. Now other than that, we have approximately 639 muscles. okay, which are helping in the movement. Students, other than, see, muscular movement is what we are going to study entirely in this chapter. So let's keep that in a pause. And remember that there is also flagellated movement, which we have already studied in our human reproduction. Flagellated movement is going to be taken care by whom? It is going to be taken care by the sperm. Okay, sperm is the one that will do the job. Sperm is the one that will do the flagellated movement, where it is moving all the way to reach till the female, right? Yes, understood this types of movement, very easy, no? Examples they will ask you, so make sure that you're remembering it. Now we are going to start the actual chapter. Properties of our muscle. See, we all go to gym to build our muscles, but do we know what are the properties that is there in the muscle? How many of you go to gym? Come on, tell me in the chat box. Most of you will be like, ma'am, no time to take bath, only you want me to go to gym. Okay, I understand, students. Okay, so properties of muscles வந்து remember easy. Okay, properties of muscles வந்து என்ன இருக்கும் students? Easy, ரொம்ப ஈஸியா இருக்கும். Okay, so easy spelling வந்து என்ன இருக்கும்? I know most of you will tell ma'am E-A-A-S-Y all that, but this spelling is different. Okay, Gopika ma'am spelling is E-E-C. Okay, easy. How many times? Easy. Clear? So in the easy la every letter has a meaning. நம்ம muscle la properties பார்க்கும்போது E for students, the property is called as excitability. Excitability. Enna excitability na? So one nerve is going to send a signal. The nerve will send a signal. The muscle has to do the job. Right or not? The muscle has to do the job of sorry. So much features are there that. Okay, students, the muscle has to do the job of getting excited so it can do the contraction and relaxation. Yes or no? Yes, ma'am, you're right. If let's say one example, let's say this glass, okay, this glass has hot coffee. Now I touched it. Suddenly I am sending a signal. My God, it's hot. Retrieve the hand. Now my muscle should get excited. If my muscle does not have excitability, then how is my muscle going to do any of the job? So it has to take the impulse. And the impulse vanda, it has to take, and the moment the impulse has reached, okay, so brain would have sent the impulse, and the impulse reach ஆகும்போது நம்ம muscles வந்து excite ஆகணும். நம்ம muscles வந்து okay, என்ன ஒரு நடக்குது, என்ன ஒரு impulse வந்திருக்கு, so I have to do certain job for it. Okay, so அதுதான் excitability. இப்போ easyல வந்து second E என்ன இருக்கும் மேம்? Extensibility. Okay, நம்ம என்ன இருக்கும் students? Extensibility. Our muscles do have the ability to extend. Extensibility is going to be there. So E வந்து extensibility. Okay, extensibility. Now what is that other E, ma'am? Elasticity, the ability of the muscle to come back to their original length. நம்ம வந்து extend பண்றா, okay, நம்ம வந்து exercise அதுக்கு அப்புறம் வந்து நம்ம muscle வந்து original lengthக்கு வாபஸ் வரணும்ல, so அதுதான் elasticity. Okay, அதுதான் இந்த E students. இந்த E வந்து என்ன இருக்கும்? Elasticity. Okay, that means the ability of the muscle to come back to original length. Okay, yes, understood this? Ability of the muscle to come back to its original length. Now last one, the EC. C for what? Students, if extensibility is there, we should also have contractibility. Yes or no? Yes, ma'am, the muscle has to contract and relax, right? So the next feature is going to, or property is going to be contractibility. So நம்ம muscles வந்து ஈஸியா இருக்கும். Property வந்து என்ன இருக்கும் students? ஈஸியா இருக்கும். Excitability, elasticity, extensibility and contractibility, இதெல்லாம் நம்ம muscle properties. இப்போ students muscle regulate பண்ணணும். For that we have to have 3 set of people who are going to help. Ma'am, 3 set of people? Yes, 3 set of people. And the 3 set of people one, the first brain one, the signal. Okay, now imagine, all of you imagine in the chat box also, all of you are there. Imagine this is a hot coffee. Okay, let's say I am your mother. Okay, I'm telling you hot coffee is ready, or I'm telling you coffee is ready. come and drink. Okay, so what you will do, you will run, you will go and touch the coffee. Okay, you will touch the coffee. Appave you will already get this, the signal will already be sent from your sensory nerves telling that it is very hot. Okay, so vapas and the ulta vanda relay neuron, your motor neuron, everyone will send the signal telling take your hand, retrieve your hand or keep the coffee mug back. So on the signal ka first we need nervous system. Adhikapuram we need skeletal system because it is a voluntary action. The muscles has to move with the bones, our entire skeletal framework. So nervous system, skeletal system and muscular system is going to work hand in hand for you to react to any impulses. Clear? So any movement, now whatever movement I am doing also, everything is because all these three signals are working simultaneously and very, very faster. Okay, clear to all of you? So remember your skeletal system. Okay, your skeletal system, your nervous system, okay, and your muscular system. All these three had to work together for you to send any signals. Clear? Like any movement to work in our body, we need all the three systems to work properly. Okay, students, understood this much? I hope it is super duper clear. Now students, types of muscles. So in animal tissues, I told you I will be teaching you type of muscle detailedly in the, the locomotion and movement. So now we are going to study that. Okay, first of all students, on the basis of their location, we have three types of muscles. Okay, three types of muscles. What are the three types of muscles? Let's see. So first, second, and we have third muscle. Now all of you know all these muscles from smaller classes. We are learning this, so it won't be that difficult for you to remember. Okay, students, I'll change this red to pink. Okay, oh no, blue went off. Yeah, so the three muscles are going to be, first one students, it's going to be called smooth muscles. What is the first muscle? It is the smooth muscle. In the smooth muscle the students, idu vanda fusiform shaped irukkum. Another fusiform shape. Fusiform shaped na tapering at both the ends. Eppadi irukkum? Tapering at both the ends. Okay, like this. Tapering at both the ends. So this is your smooth muscle. Okay. Adhikapuram vanda namakku skeletal muscle irukum. Students, skeletal muscle da nama voluntary muscle, because this is what we are going to study in the second part of the chapter. Okay, first part of the chapter we will study about muscles. Second part of the chapter nama vanda skeletal system. Next we will study. Okay. Adhikapuram students, one of the most important muscles for us is our cardiac muscle, because our heart has to beat 24/7. Okay, throughout our life for this to work properly. So first one the smooth muscle. Smooth muscle paakumbodhu eppadi irukku? In the shape vanda romba important ana shape. In the shape da fusiform. Enna students? Fusiform. Fusiform na tapering at both the ends. Okay, இது பார்க்கும்போது என்ன இருக்கு? Tapering at both the ends. Okay, இது மாதிரி tapering ஆயிருக்கும். So that is why it's called as tapering. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Fusiform shape. Ma'am, இப்போ இந்த smooth muscle எங்கே இருக்கும் ma'am? Where is it present? இது வந்து voluntary-ஆ, involuntary-ஆ? So smooth muscles வந்து நம்ம inner organs-ல, visceral organs-ல present ஆயிருக்கும். Like stomach, okay? In the inside organs, these people are going to be present. So அதனால this muscle can also be called as visceral muscle, because அது வந்து it lines the visceral organs. Okay வா? So students, fusiform shaped is clear, no? Now you should understand what? These people are not voluntary. நம்ம ஸ்டொமக்கில் ஒரு voluntary movement பண்ண முடியுமா? இல்லை மேம், பண்ண முடியலை. Like we can't do it. Why? Because நம்ம smooth muscles வந்து நம்ம கண்ட்ரோலில் இல்லை. ஸோ அதனால fusiform shape students. Fusiformக்கு அப்புறம் these muscles are unbranched. Okay, unbranched, and they are not voluntary. Okay, involuntary. Sorry, not voluntary அல்ல, involuntary. Okay, involuntary. Those who are not commenting, okay, next class those who commented, next class I'll take your names, okay, and so many gifts are planned for you later, so make sure that you're all commenting and you are subscribed to the channel as well, okay. Striations are not present students, so we can write not striated, okay, not striated or striped, Okay, both the words can be used. Striated or striped na idu madri striations irukula, so that is not present in this. So idu the basic. Okay, smooth muscle basic vanda ivlo da. You should know the shape. Are they branched, unbranched, voluntary, involuntary, where they are present. Okay, where they are present. Ipo skeletal muscle, this is what detailedly we are going to study. Ana also still you have to study. So first I will take you through cardiac muscle. In the cardiac muscle vanda cylindrical ah irukum students. Okay, konja special ah da irukum because it is present in the heart. Okay, wait, let me just finish drawing. So like this, okay, one K type I have drawn. So this is your cardiac muscle. It need not be always like this K shaped. It can also be like this also. But from this, what do I want you to understand? I want you to understand that these people are branched. Okay, these people are branched. Clear? Like this. These people are branched muscles. That is why they look like that. And not only that, students, they are going to have striations. Okay. The madri striations will be present. Some dark bands, some light bands. Okay. And they also have intercalated disc. Animal tissue, we studied more about the cell junctions. That time also we learned about intercalated disc. So this is how your cardiac muscle, this is just a diagrammatic representation because sometimes they can ask you to identify it. So students, cardiac muscle one the cylindrical shape. Cylindrical shape ஆயிருக்கும். Second feature என்ன? Unbranched. இது வந்து branched ஆயிருக்கும். இது வந்து என்ன இருக்கும்? Branched ஆயிருக்கும். அதுக்கப்புறம் involuntary. இது involuntary தான். நம்ம கண்ட்ரோல்ல இல்லை. Okay. நம்ம கண்ட்ரோல்ல இல்லை. Otherwise Chintu and Mintu would be so happy. Right. So it is involuntary. And then students, not striated. This is going to be striated. Okay, this is striated muscle. Striated, ilena, striped muscle. That means these will have light and dark bands. Clear to all of you? Now, talking about our own skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle is what we are going to study in this entire chapter in detail. But still, we have to study certain intro portion. Like, okay, like everything has a movie introduction. Adu madri da. Okay, like this they are going to be. Idu one the branch style, students. This is normal. Okay, like this also we can draw, or we can draw like this also. Like this. Why do ma'am always draw diagrams and teach? Because most of the students have visual capabilities very strong. So when you're visually watching the chapter, if I don't draw, if I just underline NCRT, you will get automatically bored. Okay, so adanalada I always draw and teach. Okay. Again, students, shape வந்து பார்க்கும்போது they are going to be cylindrical in shape. Okay, cylindrical. Okay, cylindrical in shape. Yes, ma'am, correct. Are they branched? No, ma'am, they are not branched. So not branched or unbranched. Okay, we should use proper English. Okay, don't use local English. We should use unbranched, not branched. No, unbranched. Are they involuntary or voluntary? All of you in the chat box. Ma'am, obviously, ma'am, from that time you are telling that they are voluntary. So, adanala idu vandu voluntary da irukum. Striations irukka students? Ma'am, striations are present. Striated muscles, okay? Striated, or illena we can also call skeletal muscle as striated muscle or striped muscle. So, remember when you see striped somewhere, don't get confused. Okay, striped. Okay, striated, mostly they'll use the word striated or striped. Okay, striped muscle. Now students, these people can be multi-nucleated. Okay, multi-nucleated. So remember, okay, remember that this word, instead of multi-nucleated, we use one more word called syncytium. Okay, syncytium. Okay, syncytium. That means these people are multinucleated. Clear? I'll show you the diagram as well. So this is the type of cardiac muscle on basis of their location, presence, voluntary, involuntary, everything we have divided it. Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no? Quickly let me know in the chats. Huh? Understood? Next is going to be, we are going to do a detail of skeletal muscle, okay? We are going to learn the detail of skeletal muscle. I also have some, you know, this is the slideshows for all of you. So you can see this is what I'm going to teach you, okay? You'll understand in detail everything. Once I finish drawing, you will be understanding in detail, okay? I'll also show you some videos as well. Oh, sorry. Yes, okay. So students, now listen to me carefully. Nama vandu muscle, okay, when we study muscle, you all know bone is there. Yes ma'am, bone is there. And the bone mele vandu muscle irukum, okay, we will have muscle. So bone and then muscle. Ipo in the muscle vandu students, remember it is attached to the bone. So bone and muscle, that attachment is called as what? Tendon, correct? No, tendon. So look here all of you. This is the bone. Yes ma'am, this is the bone. Okay, this is the bone, like Tom and Jerry bone. Okay, little cross it has gone like this. Okay, when cyclone was coming when I was drawing this bone, that's why. Okay. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Okay, yeah, this is the bone. Okay, Ipo in the bone, from the bone there is going to be muscle that is going to arise. Yes or no? Yes ma'am, muscle is going to come like this. Okay, you can draw a muscle like this. Ipo in the bone to muscle connection, students, either bone to muscle connection, what do you call it? You call it a tendon. Okay, you call it a tendon, and tendon is what? Tendon is a special, regular or irregular. It is a regular tissue. That is la dri. Dri, it was coming in dri. That means it is a dense connective tissue and it is a regular one. Okay, it is dense, regular connective tissue. Okay, va? Regular connective tissue. So it's a tendon, it's a dense CT or a regular, dense CT, regular CT. Okay, so this is understood. Now students, this is the entire muscle. Okay, this is the entire muscle. So we call this entire thing as muscle. Now in the complete muscle ku oru coating illana oru protective layer irukum students, oru transparent protective layer, and the protective layer ku we call it as the epimysium. Enna irukum? Oru epimysium layer is going to be present that will protect the muscle, because see, for everything protection should be there. Yes ma'am, for everything protection should be there. So remember, see here, can you see? First you see from the starting, see this is the muscle. Can you see? Everything has a protective covering. That protective covering is what they are opening and showing you people. Understood? Everything has a protective covering. That opening that they are showing is the membrane or the protective coat. So this protective coat is going to be called as what? It is going to be called the epimysium. Epimysium. Okay, it is the outer layer. Clear? Now if I draw enlarged structure of the muscle, okay, this muscle vanda na ipo oru enlarged structure. If I draw an enlarged structure, okay, like this, okay, idu madri, then what is it going to look like? So students, in the entire muscle ku vanda oru coating irukku ma'am. Yes ma'am, understood. In the coating da nama epimysium. Okay, so this is the muscle, students. Yes ma'am, this is the muscle. Okay, complete muscle. In the muscle, this portion is very important portion, okay, for us to learn. Okay, now I feel like we can draw a bigger circle, otherwise problem is when I explain, no, you will not understand. Okay, 1 second students, I will just move this. Okay. Okay, I'll keep it here, little smaller. Okay, yeah. So now this portion we are going to draw enlarged portion. Okay. This is the circle, okay, where we are drawing. All these notes you are going to get, okay. I'm drawing all this beautiful diagrams, so you don't have to worry at the end that, my God, I don't have any notes, I don't have any short notes. So this is the one. Clear? This is the muscle. Now students, inside this there are going to be muscle bundles which are going to be present. So in the muscle, inside what is going to be there? Like this, muscle bundles are going to be placed. Okay, you can draw it circle also, no problem, but then I am drawing it this way. Okay, there are muscle bundles that are going to be present like this, and this muscle bundles. Inside this muscle bundles, again muscle cells are going to be there. Okay, muscle bundles. Students, in the muscle bundles also has a protective coat. You'll be like, my god ma'am, how many protective coat? So students, in the muscle bundle also will have a protective coat. Idu madri. Okay, idu madri or protective coat irukum. In the protective coat, we call it as perimysium. What do we call it as? Perimysium. Clear to all of you? Okay, now ma'am, does muscle bundle has a name? Yes, definitely muscle bundle also has a name. So let's just label it. Okay, this is the muscle bundle. Okay, muscle bundle. So in your NCRT also you can see and the muscle bundle ku vanda fasciculi enna solluvaanga. Okay, or we can say fascicles. So remember fascicles. Okay, this is called as fascicles, that muscle bundle. Ipo and the muscle bundle ku or covering irukilla, and the covering da perimysium. Okay, all the covering I will label it in white color so you understand. Okay, perimysium or protective coat is called as perimysium. If I told you inside the muscle bundle there are muscles, okay, there are muscle cells which are present. So that you have to draw, okay, like this. Okay, like this muscle cells are going to be present. Like this they are going to be present, students. And remember, this muscle cells, we do not call it cells, but instead we call it fiber. Why are we calling it fiber? Because these people are long, slender structure. Okay, they are long. One second. Like this, long, slender structure. So since they are long, slender structure like this, students, we call it muscle fiber. Okay, we do not call it muscle cells, instead we call it muscle fiber. So idu madri irukum. I'll show you again the video so you'll understand more clearly. Okay, like this it will be present. Okay, like this, muscle bundles. Okay, like this it will be coming out. Okay, and now remember, inside this muscle bundles, muscle cells also there will be certain structures. Now is this clear to all of you? What do I call this? What do I call it? I call it a muscle fiber. I call it what? A muscle fiber. I am not going to call it a muscle cell. Okay, va? Okay, muscle fiber or muscle cell we do not call. Why? Because the muscle fiber we call because it is long and slender. Long and slender. Now students, remember, in the muscle cells and the muscle fiber also will have a protective covering. Okay, this will also have a protective covering, and in the protective covering ku nama vande endomysium. We call it what? Endomysium. Idu madri irukum. Okay, that protective covering is going to be called as what? Endomysium. Okay, now we have studied 3 protective covering. Yes or no? Yes, ma'am. 3 protective covering we have studied. We have studied epimysium, perimysium, endomysium. Okay, that means this entire muscle will have a protective covering like this. Okay, which is going to be called the epimysium. And we also have one which is in the center, which is called the perimysium. And then we have endomysium. I hope all of you understood this very well. Yes, is this clear? Now remember, students, inside this muscle fibers, they are going to be myofibrils. Okay, myofibrils are going to be present. Myofibrils are like the people who are actually going to help us in all the contraction and everything. Like this, many myofibrils will be present, and each myofibril will be formed of 2 contractile protein, which is an actin, okay, and a myosin. Okay, actin and myosin. So this is how the structure is going to be like. I've just drawn it like zigzag, zigzag, but then just remember this structure is going to be called the myofibril. Okay, myofibril. This is your contractile protein, which is actin and filament. So is the muscle structure clear to all of you? Now remember, students, ma'am, these are all bundles, ma'am. Idu vandu ella scattered aayirukku. Idu vandu it has to be kept together, ille? So students, to keep it together, okay, to keep it together, we have one connective sheath. Okay, one connective sheath which is going to keep all the bundles together. This connective sheath is going to be called the fascia. What is this connective sheath going to be called? Fascia. Okay, I've used this word in excretion chapter also. Nama body la vanda many places this fascia or fascia is going to be present. Deep structured fascias are there. So on the structures, the majority of our tissues and everything, fascia is going to be present. So to keep all the bundles together, we have fascia. Clear to all of you? I hope this is super clear. Just look at the diagram once again. Just look at the diagram once again. Now I'll make this diagram a little more bigger. Okay. Yes, this should work. Okay, this should work. I've drawn this muscle only here, enlarged. Okay, this is the same thing I'm drawing. I think it is clear to all of you. Yes? Yes, ma'am, it should be clear to all of you, right? Done, students? Understood? Okay. Okay. Now I'll show you an NCERT diagram. Okay, NCERT diagram. So look at the NCERT diagram. It's clear, right? So students, இங்கே பார்க்கும்போது see muscle fiber, it's also called the muscle cells. எதுக்கு நம்ம ஃபைபர்னு கூப்பிடுறாங்க? Because of the long slender structure. Then we have sarcolemma, blood capillaries which are surrounding the muscle, and these are your fascicles which are your muscle bundles. Spelling correct தானே? FASCI, yeah. Fascicles which are the muscle bundles, and between that fascia is going to be present which keeps all the muscle bundles together. Now ma'am, what is this sarcolemma? I did not understand. What is this sarcoplasm? All that you have to understand, no? So please understand students, nama endoplasmic reticulum, normal endoplasmic reticulum, like in the cell we call it endoplasmic reticulum. Ana muscles la vanda nama enna கூப்பிடுவா? Sarcoplasmic reticulum. Okay, sarcoplasmic reticulum. This has one of the most important functions in contraction. நம்ம muscle contraction க்கு இந்த ER ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Okay, ரொம்ப முக்கியம். அதுக்கப்புறம் students, see plasma membrane. Usually we say plasma membrane of the cells. Correct? No? Yes ma'am, we say plasma membrane. Ana inga vanda we do not say plasma membrane of the muscle. Ana we say sarcolemma of the muscle. Okay, lemma. Sarcolemma of the muscles. So, okay, sarcolemma. Lemma is not coming, students. 1 second. Okay, sarcolemma. Done? Now, ma'am, what about the cytoplasm? Since you told these two are there, and cytoplasm also should be there. Yes, even cytoplasm, students. Cytoplasm of the muscle, we call it as sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm. Okay, sarcoplasm. So this is what is the names that we use for the muscles. Okay, because we cannot call muscles one, we cannot say that okay, everything in the muscles is endoplasmic plasma membrane. The muscles will be like, bro, I don't like this common name, I want my own name. Okay, I want my own identity, and the identity kita plasma membrane will be called as sarcolemma, cytoplasm will be called as sarcoplasm. I hope this is clear to all of you. Yes, right? Yes, okay. Got it. So sorry. Since bottle fell. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Okay, done. Okay, now we are going to study, okay, some important thing. Ma'am, sarcomere. What is sarcomere? Okay, students, I told you, muscle, nama muscle, we have muscle. Adukapra muscle, inside the muscle, we have muscle bundles. Okay, muscle bundles. Then we have what? We have muscle fibers, right? We have muscle fibers, and after that what do we have? Inside the muscle fibers, I told you there will be repeating units of myofibrils. Okay, myofibrils. Now remember, in the myofibrils, inside this myofibrils, there are going to be repeating units of sarcomere. Sarcomere. In the sarcomere, inside the sarcomere, students, or the sarcomere is made up of actin and myosin. Actin and myosin. Okay, va? Okay, va? So this is the entire flow chart. This is the entire flow chart. Okay, now we are going to study the structure of sarcomere because we have to understand how is my muscle contracting. Adu vandu mukkiyam thane. So adu purinjirathukku we have to know what is sarcomere. Okay, so here one second, I will do one thing. I will write it like a box here, so we can draw the structure in the side. Okay. Okay, so students, we have muscle. Okay, inside this we have muscle bundles. In the muscle bundle has one more name. What is that? In the chat box, let me know. What is that in the chat box? Let me know. And students, in the muscle bundle, there will be muscle fibers. Okay, inside this muscle fibers, what will be there? Repeating units of myofibrils will be there. Correct, Dane? And the myofibrils, okay, inside that myofibrils, what is going to be a repeating unit of sarcomere. Okay, and then the sarcomere is made up of actin and myosin, which are your contractile protein. Okay, which are your contractile protein. So, this is the complete flow chart. More than this clarity, no one can give you. Okay, now we are going to understand how is the structure of sarcomere. Okay, how is the structure of sarcomere? It's a very simple structure. If I draw the structure only, you will understand. If I don't draw the structure, you won't understand. Okay, so adinalada I am drawing the structure first. Okay, so we will have like this actin filaments. Okay, like this actin filaments will be present. Okay, yes, like this actin filaments will be present. Okay, I will try to do a repetition, but I think I'll have to move this. Okay, like this actin filaments will be present. Okay, I think it is same, no? Yeah. So like this actin filaments will be present, students. Let me just write the heading here. Okay. Okay, sarcomere. Clear? Okay, now look here. This actin is there. Yes, ma'am, actin is there. To keep actin in place, listen to me for next 5 minutes, very important concept, okay. This is our actin filaments. Actin filaments வந்து thin filaments ஆயிருக்கும் students. Actin, thin, okay, thin filament ஆயிருக்கும். Myosin வந்து thick filament ஆயிருக்கும். So these are the people who are going to contribute for the dark band and the light band and the striations இல்லை. So on the dark and light color focus ஆகுது actin and myosin. So actin வந்து thin filament ஆயிருக்கும். Myosin வந்து thick filament ஆயிருக்கும். To keep actin in place, namakita oru zigzag line irukkum. Okay, like this. This line is going to be called the Z line. What will we call this line as? The Z line. Clear? Like this. Okay, this is the Z line. Okay, we will have one more line like this, which is the Z line. So, these two are the Z lines which are keeping actin in place. Ma'am, yenga pochu ma'am, myosin. You are telling about myosin from that time. You have not drawn myosin only. Yes, I will be drawing myosin. So, I am drawing the myosin here. Okay, I am drawing the myosin here. Myosin is the thick filament, students. So, adinala myosin I have drawn it very thick. Okay, I have drawn it very thick. So, this is the myosin. Is this clear? Done? Okay, now from here I want all of you to concentrate. From that time you should have concentrated. So this is the Z line. Yes. So first I will label the Z line. Okay, Z line and Z line. Students, please understand, from one Z line to another Z line, from one Z line to another Z line, we call it a sarcomere. Okay, 1 second, I have to push it a little above. Okay, yeah. From one Z line to another Z line, what do you call it? It's called as the consecutive. From one Z line to another Z line, you call it as a sarcomere. Okay, sarcomere. Now, ma'am, if you ask me what is the definition of sarcomere, students, sarcomere is actually the structural and the functional unit of muscle which is helping us in contraction. Okay, it is the structural and the functional unit, remember. Sarcomere, it is the structural and functional unit. Okay, it is the structural and functional unit of muscle which is going to help us with contraction. Okay, va? So in the Z line, students, to keep actin in place. Amma, ma'am, myosin has nothing to hold or what? Yes, myosin also has, students, one person to hold. So to hold myosin, 1 second. To hold myosin in place, we have the M line. To hold myosin in place, what do we have? We have something called as the M line. Clear? So, we have M line. Now, what is this system going to help? How is this sarcomere going to help? So, students, just imagine I want to contract. Okay, I want to contract. So, when I want to contract, these two people are going to move forward. That means the Z line is going to move forward. Okay, you're going to understand this more and more when I teach you sliding filament theory, everything. But Anna, please understand, sarcomere is the actin and myosin is the, now I'm thinking of contraction. I want to contract. So, நான் contract பண்ணும்போது இந்த Z line வந்து முன்னாடி வரும். Okay, இது மாதிரி முன்னாடி move ஆகும். So, அதுதான் contraction ஓட first step. Okay, இப்போ students, இந்த Z line move ஆகும்போது there are so many bands and so many regions which are present in between this. That also you have to understand. Clear? Now, remember, when you look at a muscle, okay, when I look at a muscle, so just look here, you will see, some places there is light, some places there are dark. This is your myofibrils. So this is the entire muscle. When you pull out, you have the muscle cell, and inside that you have the myofibril. Can you see many myofibrils are there? 100 to 150 myofibrils are going to be present. Correct or not? Okay, so look here, this is the sarcoplasmic reticulum, individual muscle cells, myofibrils, and then your sarcoplasmic reticulum, etc. Okay, now to go forward. See, students, this is how a sarcomere looks like. This is your sarcomere. From one Z line to another Z line, it's your sarcomere. This is the myosin, this is the actin and the zigzag line. So, contraction agumbod enna agum, students, and the Z line vandu move agum. See, look at it. Okay, look at it. It will contract. Can you see? They are sliding. They are moving forward and coming back. Okay, they are moving forward and coming back. So, that is important. Yes or no? Understood? So, now, let's just go back to the notes. So, I told you these two people are going to move forward when the contraction, okay, is going to happen. Now, I told you there are certain bands in this, okay, there are certain bands in this muscles which are very, very important for you. Please understand, there is one band which is present right at the center who is not bothered about anyone else. That is called as your, okay, this band which is right at the center. Okay, like this. This band which is right at the center, which has the myosin, some of actin, that is going to be called your A band. Okay, what is it going to be called, students? A band it is going to be called. Clear? Okay, it is going to be called what? The A band, which is right at the center, which is your anisotropic band. It's going to be called what? A band, which is anisotropic band. Isotropic na hai. Ma'am, isotropic means like everything will be same, iso. Okay, this is, I'm saying this water is isovolumetric. That means in this salt is there, water is there, everything is in equal ratio, correct? Uniso and opposite. That means this will have both the actin as well as the myosin filament. Okay, this mouse I have to always move. Okay, 1 second, students. Otherwise I cannot write. Okay, they will have both the actin as well as the myosin filament. Okay, now students, there is also isotropic band. Now what is isotropic band? The region where only actin is going to be present. The region where only actin is going to be present. So this region is going to be the I band. Clear? Okay, this region where the actin is present, this region is going to be the I band. Okay, I band. A band, I band. The region where only actin is present, that is going to be the I band. Okay, clear? Now, you will notice then when this is moving, okay, there are so many regions. Actually, I should have drawn it a little more longer. Okay, let me just I should actually draw this actin a little more longer, like this. Okay. Just imagine like this, students. So there are so many regions where you will notice that the actin and myosin are present. That regions are called as the overlapping regions. So can you see region where actin and myosin will be there? So myosin will be there, actin will be like this. These regions are called as overlapping regions. Clear to all of you? Overlapping regions where actin and myosin is going to be there. This region, okay? This region is going to be called the O band or the O zone. Okay, overlapping regions where the actin and myosin is overlapping. In the region when the increase argument contraction is happening, because they are going to come more closer. Okay, they are going to come more closer. Okay, now students, there is a region where only myosin is going to be present. That zone is called as the H zone. That zone is called as what? The H zone. The region where only myosin is present, that region is called as the H zone. Now you will be a little confused. Don't worry. As we learn, you will understand everything. Okay, you will understand everything. So is this clear? This is a sarcomere structure. So you can see one zigzag line that is holding the actin filaments. You have one line which is holding the myosin filament, which is the M line. And as this Z line moves forward, contraction is going to happen. These people are going to slide over each other, and that will lead to noticing certain regions where actin will be above myosin, overlapping regions are there, and there is a region where actin and myosin is present, which is the anisotropic band, and we have one band which is called the isotropic band. Okay, now I will duplicate this and I will teach you once again. Okay, I'll teach you this once again here, because I have to write about all the bands here. And I will also teach you how, when contraction happens, how the whole thing is going to change. Okay, we will just reduce the size little and we'll push it this way so you can see it, okay, as I am explaining. Okay, clear? This can be seen, right? Okay, let me just see. Yeah. So this, I hit myself. Okay, this is what the sarcomere looks like. Remember, students, sarcomere or your muscles usually has two striations. Okay, striations, stripes. Okay. One is going to be the A band, which will lead to the darker striations, because this will have myosin. Since myosin is a thick band, always remember it will lead to formation of your dark striations. So anisotropic band, which will have majority myosin, and then you have one which is called the I band, which is the isotropic band. Isotropic band. Clear? Isotropic band. So there is A band and I band for your this one, remember, for your muscles. Okay. Okay, there is A band and there is I band. Clear? A band and I band. Done. Anisotropic and isotropic. Always remember, students, I band will have mainly the actin filaments. Okay, actin filaments. So how will you remember who is thick and who is thin? Remember, actin, thin. Okay, actin, thin. Clear? Actin, thin it is, thin filament. Okay, now, when a contraction happens, which are the lines that are going to stay constant? Who is going to stay constant? All that you have to understand. So, in the video, the students, can you see? This is coming out, okay, and then contraction is happening. Okay, this is the actin, this is the myosin, Z line is there, that is the sarcomere. It will contract now. Can you see? Sliding is happening. So, there are certain regions in the muscle which is not moving at all. There are certain regions in the muscle which are not moving at all. So, that regions we have to understand. Okay, that regions we have to understand. Clear? See, look here. This myosin and actin you will understand. This is the Z line which is keeping the actin in place. This is the M line, this is the myosin, and this is the myosin head. So, they both are contracting, they are making bond with each other and then they are coming back. Okay, that is what we have understood so far. Now, so here students, understand which are the lines that are going to stay constant, what is going to happen, that also we have to learn. Okay, yes. So, let us see during a contraction, okay, during, this question has come in the previous year, during contraction. Okay, during contraction what will happen? First of all, your Z line will move inwards. Yes ma'am, Z line will move inwards. That is the first thing. Yes, understood. Okay, so the first thing that will happen during contraction is going to be Z line moves inwards. Z line moves inwards. That's the first thing. Agreed. Okay. Now, what about the A band and I band? A band is going to remain constant. Okay. The A band is going to remain constant. Why? Because the actin is going to slide over the myosin. Okay. Actin is going to slide over the myosin. Students, imagine if I remove this band, okay, or I place it like this on top like this. Can you see how it is formed? Like this. Okay. This also, if I push it like this, you should remember that, okay, they are present just above and there are overlapping regions, and as they contract, they will move forward. Correct? As they contract, they will move forward. This is how you should remember. Okay. Now, if I take this region, okay, like this, you should remember, they are all going to move forward as the contraction is going to happen. Okay. As the, like this. Okay, they will move forward and there are going to be regions where the contraction is going to happen. Clear? So, that is how I have drawn it here. To reduce the complexity, I have kept it like this. Okay, I think this should work. Fine. Okay, this is how. Yes. Okay, now look here. Let's go back here. So, students, the A line, A band is going to remain constant. Okay. This they will ask you, remember, A band is constant. If A band or the myosin is not moving, then don't you think M line also will be constant? Yes, even the M line will not be bothered. M line also will be constant. M line also will be constant. Clear? Now, what about Hensen zone? That is the H zone. We call that H zone as Hensen zone. H zone as what, students? Hensen zone. Hensen's zone. What about Hensen zones? I band you already understood. A band also you have understood. It is already here. O zone or O band. We don't call it band actually. We can tell it O zone only. O zone. Don't write ozone and come, okay? Overlapping zone. Okay, overlapping zone. O zone is the overlapping zone. I band, A band understood, M line understood, H zone understood. This is important. Clear? I band also you have understood, no? These are the two region names which you have to remember other than the I band, O band, everything. Okay. Now, students, see here, you tell me what will happen to the H zone. H zone is the Hensen zone where myosin is present. As the actin is going to move, don't you think H zone will reduce? Yes, ma'am, the H zone is going to reduce because it is the place where the myosin is present and there the actin is going to overlap. So, here, remember H zone reduces. H zone reduces. அதுக்கப்புறம் what will happen students? நம்ம ozone வந்து increase ஆகும். That is the only zone that will increase. Okay. I band also will decrease or reduce. Decrease. And students remember, ozone is the only zone that will actually increase. Why? Or can anyone tell me in the charts why? Because students in the region la வந்து நம்ம இது contract பண்ணும்போது என்ன நடக்கும், நம்ம myosin and actin வந்து overlapping regions அதிகமா இருக்கும், கரெக்ட் இல்ல? so அந்த அதிகமா இருக்குறனால தான் ozone is going to increase. Ozone is going to increase. Clear to all of you? Yes. Now you have to remember this one thing. Okay, I'm writing it in a box. Okay, now I told you this is one I band, this is one I band, correct? This is one I band. So they'll ask you one sarcomere is made up of how many I bands and A bands. So your answer should be, okay, one sarcomere is equal to what and all students? Half I band, okay, half I band plus half I band. Edukku ma'am half? See students, I band is going to be the region where the actin is present, but where does the Z line end? Look at the Z line. Z line is going to end here. No, from Z line to Z line only a sarcomere. So I can take only half. I can take only half. Understood? I cannot take the full I band. I cannot take the full I band because I band is this portion, but Z line is ending here. So in one sarcomere, only half an I band will be there. Rest of the half will be on the next sarcomere. So half I band, half I band. So half I band plus half I band, but one full A band is there. Yes ma'am, one full A band is there, which is plus one A band. So technically one sarcomere will have one I band plus one A band. Clear? It will have one I band and one A band. One sarcomere will have half I band and A band. Can you see? Half I band plus one full A band. Why? Because here half is going, here half is going. One sarcomere they are asking. One sarcomere is between one Z line to another Z line. So adanala we cannot calculate the whole thing. Adanala da idla half and the half irukku. So half I band. So one sarcomere is made up of one I band and one A band. Clear? So when the muscle contraction happens, this movement will happen. That will lead to reduction of so many zones and bands. Okay, zones and bands. In your NCERT also structure is there. I forgot to put NCERT structure here. In NCERT you can see there is a black and white structure which says contraction, relaxation and all of that. So that is important for you. Okay, that is important for you. Beautiful, no? Nice board work. Yes ma'am, good board work ma'am. Okay, done. Yes students, so sarcomere is perfectly understood, no? It is not. Okay, இதுதான் sarcomere. பியூட்டிஃபுல்லான ஒரு ஸ்லைடு இருக்கு. இந்த ஸ்லைடில் எல்லாமே இருக்கு. Okay, yes, this is your one man solution. Okay, one slide solution. Okay, now students we are going to study the structure of myosin. Myosin எப்படி இருக்கும் ma'am? How does it look like? Does it look beautiful like me? Okay, like that questions you will have. So that's why we are going to learn it. Okay, now look here, myosin is actually made up of monomer. Okay, monomer. It is made up of what? Monomer called as meromyosin. Okay, meromyosin. Like how let's say we say this chain is made up of beads. That means small units, no? Adu madrita. Myosin is made up of monomer called as meromyosin. In the meromyosin structure, in the myosin structure, namakku vandu 6 polynucleotide chain irukum students. Evlo irukum? 6 polynucleotide Okay. Okay, 6 polypeptide chain irukum. And the 6 polypeptide chain la 2 chains are going to be the 2 long chains. Okay, 2 long chains and 4 short chains. Enna irukum? 2 long chains irukum, 4 short chains irukum. So in the 6 polypeptide chain la 2 long chains irukum, 4 short chains irukum. Okay, ipo ma'am myosin ku parts irukka, eppadi irukum ma'am paakadhirukku? So students, myosin vanda it is going to have, okay, myosin vanda it's going to have oru head, okay, mattapadiya oru tail irukum. Okay, in the head vanda globular irukum. Head vanda eppadi irukum? Globular head is going to be there. And students, in this globular head, two main thing is going to be there. One is called as an actin. Okay, one is going to be called as the actin binding site. Tin. Okay, actin binding site, because obviously if myosin doesn't bind with actin, how will the contraction happen? Okay, and then we will have ATP binding site. ATP binding site, correct? Yes or no? ATP binding site. So this is how your, what is this, myosin is going to be. Now don't you want to see the structure? Ma'am, Gopika Ma'am's notes without structure is impossible. Okay, so students, look here, these are the 2 long chains. Adukappuram globular head irukum. Okay, and then and then one more chain and one globular head will be there. Okay, idu madri irukum. Okay, this is how it is going to be. And in this, students, idukku vanda, okay, idukku vanda oru actin binding site irukum. Okay, like this one binding site will be present. Okay, like this, okay, like this binding site will be present. Other than that, what will be there? One more, like this. Okay, like this on the head. Okay, on the head one ATP binding site will be there, as well as one actin binding site will be there. Okay va? Okay va? And now you will be thinking, ma'am, you told but 2 long chains. Okay, 2 long chains, you notice these are the 2 long chains. Short chains, where's ma'am? Short chains are going to be present like this. Okay, students, I haven't eaten lunch, so since I have not eaten food, my tongue is twisting. Okay, these are the short chains. Can you see? 2 long chains, 2 short chains. 2 long chains, 2 short chains. Okay, so this is going to be, in your NCERT diagram is there? I don't know if I've added NCERT diagram. Yeah, here can you see? NCERT diagram is there. That same diagram only I have drawn. They have drawn the head like this, I have drawn the head like that. Okay, that's it. Clear? So here, students, we have ATP binding site. Okay, and we have actin binding site. ATP binding site and actin binding site. Okay va? Now students, one majority PYQ. Okay, most of the time from this topic one PYQ will come. What is that PYQ? What is heavy myromyosin and light myromyosin? So normally nama in the myosin head and tail divide பண்ணும்போது students, there are 2 terminologies we use, like LMM. Okay, LMM. What is LMM, ma'am? Light myromyosin, okay, and HMM, heavy myromyosin. So light myromyosin irukum or heavy myromyosin irukum, students. So in the light and heavy myromyosin vanda, you have to remember very carefully, because this has come many times as PYQs. So this head portion with a small neck, one short arm, we cannot call it neck, so we call it what? Short arm. So the head with the short arm, we call it as HMM, heavy myromycin. What is this heavy and light myromycin? Heavy and light myromycin vanna molecular weight based on molecular weight vandu in the heavy and light myromycin we are counting. Okay, students inga paakumbodhu in the tail vandu LMM maarikum. It is going to be LMM. So we have HMM and LMM. HMM is heavy myromycin with short arm. Tail is light myromycin. It is based on what? It is based on the molecular weight. Okay. So HMM, remember, I'll erase this. You know, no short arm. Okay. I will just write here. This is what question has come. Heavy myromycin consists of, okay, globular head of the myosin and the short arm. Okay, students, short arm. This is the structure of myosin. Beautiful. Understood everything? Monomer. Okay, myosin is made up of monomer called as myromycin. Adukapram it is made up of 6 polypeptide chain. Adula vandu 4 short chain, 4 short chain and 2 long chains. Okay, 2 long chains are this 2 long chains which will end in a globular head. And the head la vandu ATP binding site and actin binding site irukku. ATP binding site is the villain. Just remember the story now. Later I'll tell you one more story. Now students, myosin has 2 regions, or head region or a tail region, and the head region vandu globular irukkum, and the globular head la ATP and actin binding site, already I told you, and the head plus one like neck, how we have, no, like that one short arm region is present. So head plus short arm is going to be your HMM, heavy myromycin. Tail is going to be the light myromycin. Okay, va? Understood all of you? Yes or no? Let's drink some water. Okay. Clear? Okay. Next, let's study actin structure. Okay. Now, students, actin vanda, okay, actin structure paakumbodhu, there is one circle, okay. You'll be like, what is this ma'am telling? Okay. Have you all subscribed? Have you all liked the video? I want to see 200 likes. Come on. My students are capable of that. My students are more capable than that. Okay. So, students, first when you see at the actin, they are actually globular actins. Globular na circular. Okay. This is the globular actin. Clear? Globular actin, or else we can call it as G-actin. Okay. We can call it as what? G-actin. In the globular actin one, the students, because of polymerization. Polymerization you already know from molecular basis of inheritance, we have learned this word. Because of polymerization. Because of what? Because of polymerization. Because of polymerization, we are going to do what? With the help of, okay, we also say magnesium, but yeah, we are going to polymerize this, okay, polymerize this into 2 F-actins, okay, polymerization of 2 F-actins. So, this will lead to the formation of, students, oru infinity sign, similar, ana konja different aayirukkum, but ana draw pandradhukku romba easy, okay, oru maadhiri infinity sign maadhiri irukkum, idu maadhiri irukku oru structure. So, this will form the 2 F-actins, okay, this is the, so globular actin one, the fibrous actin achu, okay va, okay, so the F-actin, so this will lead to the formation of F-actin which are helicoiled, okay, which are coiled. So, here remember, like this, the structure is going to look like. I'll show you the structure also, but let me just finish drawing. Okay. Good diagrams come with time. Yes or no? Yes, ma'am. Okay, like this it will be. Okay. So, this is how the F-actin is going to look, students. In the F-actin one, the helically coiled irukkum. Now, here comes the most interesting part about actin. In the actin center, okay, in the actin center la vanda, oru thread like structure vandi ippidi, it's going to run. Okay, it is going to run. Okay, now everything I'll tell you. Now, this thread like structure will end here, where there are going to be like this 3 zeros, like this 3 dots. Okay, again here here, here. You'll be like, ma'am, what are all these people? Who are all these people? Correct? No, you'll be thinking, who are all these people? What are all these people? So, look here. What I drew here, that blue line, the pink line, everything, students, those are called as regulatory proteins. What are they called as? Regulatory proteins. Clear to all of you? What did I draw right now? The blue line, the pink line, everything, they are called as what? Regulatory proteins. Clear? Now look here. What are these regulatory proteins? So, actin's control is in this regulatory protein. So, students, in the blue line vanda, it is called as tropomyosin. And this pink color dots which are there, okay? This pink color dots which are there, அது வந்து நம்ம zoom பண்ணி we have to draw, okay? We have to draw, okay? One circle here, one circle here, one circle here, okay? Like this, 3 dots are going to be there, no? I just zoomed it and drew, okay? I just zoomed it and drew for you to draw, draw, okay? My English is not English. Yes, all of you subscribe. We have to reach soon 1 targets, okay? What is the target? Ma'am, we should make the channel big so I can give you a lot of free content. I can come and meet you in Chennai, in different places, wherever you people are staying. Okay, so for that you have to grow the channel. Okay, if I say channel is small, then they'll tell, okay, no students are going to come. Right, so like that 3 circles are going to be there. Correct, no? In the 3 circles, students, these are regulatory proteins. So here you will have TPC. Okay, this is the calcium binding site. Okay, we will have TPI and we will have TPT, which is a troponin. Okay, so one inhibitor side, one troponin side, one calcium side. So now remember the regulatory proteins that I spoke about was this. Okay, so in that we have one troponin. So we have 2 regulatory proteins. I am writing it once again for all of you. We have 2 regulatory proteins. Okay. In the regulatory proteins, the students, 2 of them are there. One is called as tropomyosin. Okay. One is called as troponin. One is called as troponin. So, in the troponin and tropomyosin combine panni, okay, combine panni or regulation, that is depending on when the actin should bind with myosin, why should binding happen, adu madri oru regulation will be taken care by these people. Is this clear to all of you? Yes. So, everything has its own purpose, okay. This is actually a calcium site, okay. There is no space in this board, students. They have given me a kuti board, okay. We will put a complaint. Gopika Ma'am needs big board. Troponin, okay, and we have actin inhibiting, okay, actin inhibiting site. So, this is the 3 sites, okay. The calcium site and troponin site is very important because they have some functions in the future, okay, they have some functions in the future. So, students, what is happening? Globular actin was there. First actin was globular. Adhikapram, because of polymerization, it became what? It became fibrous actin. Helically coiled it became. And the helically coiled structure, 2 regulatory proteins are there. One tropomyosin and a troponin. And the troponin la 3 regions irukku. Or TPC, or TPI, or TPT. And the TPT is the troponin. So these 2 will regulate that should we let them bind, should we remove them, should we let them bind. So adu madri oru villain role they are going to do, okay. Now remember here, this troponin, you will be thinking, ma'am, why but so many people, ma'am? Because students, these people are going to do one thing. These regulatory proteins are going to mask. What are they going to do? These people are going to mask the myosin binding site. Students, it's a sad love story. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. It's a very sad love story. Put crying emojis in the chat box. Everyone should think, why are these people crying? Okay, everyone should think, why are these people crying? So please put crying emojis in the chat box. Okay. And the story one, the myosin and actin. Okay. Okay, there are two people. They are very good people. They want to, continue their life in the future. But Anna, anga vanda oru father, brothers, ellame villain. Okay, everyone is a villain. One movie story it is. My God, any directors, please sign. No, any producers, please sign for this movie. Okay. So students, listen to me. So basically, enna nadakudhu students? Myosin really likes actin. Actin really likes myosin. Namma vandu muscle contract பண்ணும்போது these both are going to slide. That means these both are going to bond with each other. Okay, the marriage is going to happen. But ஆனா அவருக்கு வந்து villain இருக்கு. Villain வந்து actin has two villain. Troponin and tropomyosin. So one father is there, one brother is there. Let's consider actin as the girl. அதுக்கப்புறம் myosin, on myosin there is ATP binding site. Who is the villain? Father is there. So this father, brother, they will not allow these two people to meet. So they will control when these people should meet, when these people should not meet. So how do muscle contraction happen? If these villains are standing, then how exactly muscle contraction will happen? That is what we are going to understand in the next story. Okay, understood? So that is the need for this regulatory protein. These people are going to control when actin and myosin should bind. What should happen next? All that we have to understand. Clear? Now look here. This is the structure given in NCERT. They will ask you NCERT structure, so it's important for you to learn it. Look here. This is the structure, students. You have troponin, which I told you, the thread-like structure, tropomyosin, and the F-actin. See, they can ask you A, B, C, D, labeling they can ask you. So make sure that you are looking at all these diagrams properly. Okay. Here it should be F-actin. See, this they have labeled it as F-actin, which had become from globular to fiber actin. Okay, then we have tropomyosin, troponin. Clear? Now on the myosin, if you look at it, first you have ATP binding site on the top. Then we have, actin binding site. Keela on the ATP binding site. Both are present in the head region, and then we have one cross arm. We have cross arm, and this is the tail region. This tail region is an LMM. Okay, light meromyosin. This head region is a HMM. With the cross arm, which is again heavy meromyosin. Clear to all of you? Understood this? Okay. Now we are going to get into the story. What is the story? Neuromuscular junctions. Now how does actin and myosin meet? Who allows them to meet? What is happening with their meeting? Important. Okay. Students, this is a neuromuscular junction. That means what? This is a axon ending. Okay, axon ending is there. In the axon ending, synaptic vesicles will be there, and the synaptic vesicle inside your neurotransmitters are going to be there. Okay, so appo nama oru impulse edukumbodhu, that means let's say something we touched hot object, namakku vanda hand retrieve pannum, so oru nerve impulse release agum. Okay, one nerve impulse is going to come. Now because of the nerve impulse, this synaptic vesicles which contain your acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter. Okay va? Neurotransmitter, acetylcholine வந்து ஒரு neurotransmitter, and the neurotransmitter வந்து release ஆகும். To release this, there in the muscles there will be certain receptors who will be waiting, telling that please give me that acetylcholine, please give me that, so I can tell the muscles to contract. So this is how the process has to happen. Okay, so here students you will notice in the muscles, okay, this is the sarcolemma. Can you see? This is the sarcolemma. In the muscles there are certain tubules which are called as T tubules. There are certain tubules called as T tubules. I'll show you here. Just go here. See here. Very fast it is going. Can you see T tubules? Between the muscles, there are T tubules. Look properly. Yellow color they will highlight. This one. Those are the T tubules. Why are they present? Because they are going to help in this impulse transmission. They are going to help in this influx of sodium. So students, the muscles are going to have T tubules like this. Okay. Now, can you see here? Between the sarcomeres, there is this T tubules present, and here you can see myosin head is standing out, actin is here. Now this contraction has to happen. How will this happen is what we are going to understand. So again students, once again see, the nerve is going to bring the impulse. Adhikappuram, the T tubules are there, all these receptors are waiting to accept the acetylcholine. After this acetylcholine is accepted from the T tubules, influx will happen. That will lead to the binding of your myosin and actin. That will lead to the binding of your myosin and actin. Clear? Clear? think I should drink more water, students. Understood? Yes, ma'am, understood. Easy? Wait, I'll teach you, like I'll draw and teach you, okay? Okay. So, students, basic you have understood, no? Neuromuscular junction வந்து எப்படி இருக்கும்னு. So basically the muscle is going to send the impulse and the nerves are going to send the impulse, the muscles are going to receive it and immediately they are going to do action back for it. Now, ma'am, how does actin and myosin meet? Who is going to help them in the meeting? That one important because I told you villains are more people, right? One father is there, brother is there, one more father is there. All these three people are villains and they will not let myosin and actin meet. So we have to help myosin and actin meet. I'll tell you like a story. Okay, now see, let's try and understand what is neuromuscular junction. I'll be drawing the neuromuscular junction just like this. Okay, just like this, I'll be drawing a neuromuscular junction for you to understand, okay, how the entire process happens. So first we will draw a muscle, students. Okay, we'll only draw because we are very capable. This is the muscle, okay. This is the muscle, this will be the T tubules, okay, this will be the T tubules, and here we will have your sarcoplasmic reticulum, which has an important function later, okay, it has an important function later. So students, here what is going to be there? Ma'am, here the axon terminal is going to be there, okay, like this, your axon terminal is going to be there, which will have the synaptic vesicles. This one okay, students? This you already know. Neuron chapter, we are going to study it again. In the synaptic vesicles, inside this, what will be there? Here, we are going to talk about the neurotransmitter, which is called as acetylcholine. Okay, so I told you to accept this acetylcholine, there will be acetylcholine receptors which are waiting outside on the muscles itself. Okay, what will be there? Acetylcholine receptors will be there, which are waiting like this outside to accept this acetylcholine so as to do this conformational change for this contraction to happen. So, இது வந்து எப்படி நடக்கும்? So, imagine impulse வந்து receive ஆயிடுச்சு. Okay. Impulse has been received by the dendrite to the axon. Immediately, students, in the axon வந்து, wait, I will just move this. So, I'll get more space. Okay, yeah. So, okay. We will make a copy of it. So what is basically going to happen? This is the first situation. Okay. This is the first situation. How many did I make, students? One second. Okay, this is the first situation, okay, where the synaptic vesicles are there. Adhikapra, now what is going to happen? And the signal வந்து receive ஆயிடுச்சு. So, in the synaptic vesicle, என்ன நடக்கும்? Here you should understand that as the impulse is coming, there is presynaptic and postsynaptic, okay. Slowly the synaptic vesicles will start opening. Why? Because they have to release the acetylcholine. Okay, they have to release the acetylcholine. So, immediately வந்து என்ன நடக்கும்? இந்த acetylcholine வந்து release ஆக start ஆகும். Okay, acetylcholine வந்து release ஆக start ஆகும். Okay, இது மாதிரி. Okay, acetylcholine will start getting released and இது வந்து எங்க accept ஆகும், students? It will be accepted by the receptors. So as the receptors are accepting it, immediately something has to happen. Yes, ma'am, something has to happen. So this complete acetylcholine is coming. Okay, acetylcholine is coming. I think this color might be little confusing. So we will change the receptor color. Okay. We'll make it a little light because students will get confused. You will be thinking, ma'am, why do you use this many colors? Because I told you yesterday also that revision பண்ணும்போது colors வந்து ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Because நமக்கு normally பார்த்தேன்னா visual memory is better than audio memory. So அதனால visually colors வந்து help ஆகும். Okay, so students, look here. What is going to happen? The acetylcholine is going to be released. So here you can see, okay, here you can see acetyl ACH is going to be released from the neurotransmitters, and this will be taken up by who? By the ACH receptors, okay? ACH receptors. Now what is this? This is the T tubules. Now what will happen? The moment acetylcholine will be accepted, immediately students there is going to be influx of sodium. Okay, normally also we know influx of sodium will happen when there is an impulse that is coming. So enna nadakum? Inge influx of sodium will happen. Sodium influx will happen, and because of the sodium influx, okay, the sodium influx will lead to the release of calcium, okay, will release the calcium from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. In the influx of sodium, okay, in the influx of sodium will lead to the release of calcium from the SR, that is sarcoplasmic reticulum. Now the calcium will start releasing. Okay, calcium will get released, and as the calcium will get released, students, what it is going to do? I told you in the actin, okay, enna irukku nama actin la vanda. So let's just copy paste on the actin diagram inge. Okay, I don't know if I can copy paste this. I'm very doubtful. No, I cannot, because this is already saved. I saved this file. Okay, never mind. We will draw it faster. So students, here this actin will be there, okay? In the actin layer, there is TPC site. All of you remember? I taught you, no? Just some time back I taught you. Troponin la vande enna irukum? And the troponin la vande troponin TPC site irukum. And the TPC site vande it is calcium binding site. So in the calcium release agumbodhu, students, this calcium will go and bind where is what is the question. Okay, so let's understand. Here we will have the TP, that is the troponin site. Troponin site will be what is that? Separated with what you tell at right intervals, okay? At right intervals, this troponins are going to be present. So in the troponin la vandu or TPC site irukilla, students. So in the calcium vandu and the TPC site la poi bind agum. Okay, it will go and bind to the TPC site. Ma'am, ipo enna nadakkum, ma'am? This TPC site will, because of this binding of calcium to the TPC site, this actin, no, this troponin and tropomyosin is going to go through a conformational change. Conformational change. Okay, this will, so the calcium will go and bind to the TPC site. This will lead to what? A conformational change. It will lead to a conformational change, leading to what? Unmasking of myosin binding site. Unmasking of myosin binding site. Because who was the problem? Troponin and tropomyosin was the problem. They were the regulatory proteins. So on the regulatory proteins vanda, they were making the issue. Yes, ma'am, they were making the issue, telling that we will not unmask the myosin binding site. So here basically one distraction is happening, leading to troponin and tropomyosin okay, doing a conformational change. Okay, va? Okay, Kana? Understood this? So, inge vanda we are going to write neuromuscular junction. Neuromuscular junction. Okay, now understand here. Once again, let's go through this. Okay, I will also label the T tubules. This is also the T tubule. Okay, this is the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Now, students, try and understand what just happened. Now I'm going to tell it as a story. Okay, a very funny story. So basically, nama vanda actin and myosin should meet together, but Anna actin is like, closed in her home. Like she's not allowed to come out. So nama vanda enna pannano? Nama vanda father and brother, we have to distract them. That means we have to create a chaos. We have to create a problem and distract them. And when they get distracted, automatically actin will be able to come out. Okay. So adanale first vanda nama enna pannuva? Oru scene creation, that is impulse creation will happen. And the impulse will lead to the release of your neurotransmitters in the synaptic space. Okay, synaptic space, that is we have presynaptic and postsynaptic left. Between that we have the synaptic like the space. Okay, in that synaptic space this neurotransmitters will be released, and the neurotransmitters will be accepted by the acetylcholine receptors or neurotransmitter receptors on the muscle. Okay, this is called as neuromuscular junction. Now the moment this acceptance happen, influx of sodium will happen. This influx of sodium will lead to the sarcoplasmic reticulum to release the calcium. Now the calcium will go and bind with the TPC site on the actin, allowing them to do a conformational change. So there will be a change leading to myosin binding site automatically visible. What is this telling? This is telling our muscles that it is time for you to contract. Okay, this is time for you to contract. So how can I remember this, ma'am? Remember that first we will create an issue here. That issue, words will be spread through the T tubules. Lot of people are there. They will go and tell that, you know what, this actin, some friends have come, they are all creating some issue, come fast, come fast. So one fellow from their house itself will go and tell this fellow TPC that, you know what, someone is making some issue, please come. So calcium and TPC will bind and they will go to see what is the issue. By then myosin binding site will be visible on this. Clear? Like this also you can remember, like one story you can remember, you don't have to break your head. Now I want to make one thing very clear for all of you. There are two types of proteins, okay? One is called as contractile protein. One is called as contractile protein. That is your myosin and actin. Myosin and actin is the contractile protein. That means the one that has the ability to contract. Okay. Adhikapram students, you have regulatory proteins. Okay, regulatory proteins. In the regulatory proteins, we have troponin for actin, I'm telling. Okay, troponin and tropomyosin. Now you will be like, ma'am, we made actin, show its love, the myosin binding site to be visible. What about myosin? On the myosin also, when father is sitting, that father will create an issue. What about that fellow? For them, that fellow also we have to do something. Yes, we have to do something. We are going to understand what we have to do there. So I hope this is clear. Before that, I would like to show you people one video. So students, this is the entire muscle. Okay. Wait, I'll show you here. Let it load. Okay, yeah. This is your entire muscle. I want you to understand how it is going to look like. Okay. Now, let's just... This is your entire muscle. Can you see, like this labelings can be asked. That is, this is the entire muscle. Okay, this is the epimysium. I told you the covering. And then this is going to be your muscle bundles, which are called as fascicles. Okay, and from the fascicle, it's arising a muscle fiber. Okay, and muscle fiber has a perimysium covering on it. Correct? Yes, ma'am. And then this from there, this is coming. That is going to be a muscle fiber. So basically, they have pulled out a lot of muscle fibers. And the muscle fibers, students, myofibrils will be there. Many 100 to 200 repeating units of myofibrils will be there. Myofibrils are made up of what? Myofibrils are made up of sarcomeres. What is sarcomere made up of? Actin and myosin. So today itself, in just some time back, I gave you a flow chart for you to remember. Okay, this is going to be the reticulum. Okay, so sarcoplasmic reticulum is there. This is going to be the mitochondria. Correct or not? Yes, ma'am. Then students, you can see the myofibrils are going to come out, and this is what you are seeing now. This is the myosin. Can you see the myosin head? This is the actin, which is going to be a completely coiled, helically coiled fibrous actin is there. Two long, like two big chains will be there. Okay, and then here you have the myosin, which has the entire head region with the long chains. Understood? So this is how the entire muscle will look. First you have the muscle. From the muscle arises your muscle bundles. From the muscle bundle arises your muscle fiber. From the muscle fiber arises your myofibril. Myofibril inside the sarcomere will be there, and the sarcomere kitta actin and myosin will be there, which are the contractile protein. Okay, va? Okay, this is clear, I hope. Please put a lot of fire emojis in the chat box. Chat should keep moving. Nowhere the chat should stop working. Okay, I don't want anyone to think that, oh my god, this class is, you know, not good or not, it's boring, that's why no one is there. I want the class to have high energy. Okay, class to have high energy. Okay. Okay, this is understood. Like this, I am trying to make you understand every single thing with whatever free sources I have, because I do not have paid version of any of this. Okay, now students, this also you understood. These are the T tubules which are going to help us for the entire transport of the sodium influx. Okay, now you see this also understood. Now you see here students, this is how the sliding is going to happen. That means the Z line is going to move forward, actin is going to slide over the myosin. Why ma'am? Because myosin is a thick filament, actin வந்து thin filament. Thin filament க்கு slide பண்ணதுக்கு ரொம்ப easy. அதனால actin will slide over the myosin னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Okay. Now students, here you see what is going to happen. This is a troponin. Calcium is coming and binding with the TPC site, leading to a conformational change, leading to myosin binding site visible. What I told you understood. So look here, from there the impulse is coming. Okay, neurotransmitters are going to get released. See, all the acetylcholine has got accepted by the receptors, because of which influx of sodium happened, leading to the calcium release from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. This went and bound with TPC, and the actin changed. That means myosin binding site was visible. Now the myosin is going to bind with this. Clear? Okay, understood? So whatever videos possible I have taken and come. Okay, so everything becomes easier for you people to understand. So inga vanda same thing. See what I told you? Troponin bind agum, conformational change ஆச்சு, and down myosin was there. Now myosin will bind. இப்போ ma'am எப்படி ma'am myosin we are going to bring outside the house, because நம்ம வந்து actin already went out of the house. Okay, now we have to see what is going to happen with myosin. That I will show you now. Okay, that I will show you now. So அதுக்கு students we have sliding filament theory. Okay, அதுக்கு ஒரு theory இருக்கு which is called as sliding filament theory. அந்த theoryல தான் we will be able to remove myosin's father from, you know, myosin's house and bring myosin out. So actin and myosin can, you know, do a binding, and that will lead to contraction of the muscle. So inga paakumbodhu, this is what is sliding filament theory. This is what is given in your NCERT. This is what is given in your NCERT. Anna, we will first see this adikapram NCERT. Okay, so what is happening? Basic, I know that, very basic, I know that my myosin head and the globular head has two things. Or actin binding site, ஆனா இந்த binding site வந்து it's not visible now, because this binding site is covered by ATP binding site. Okay, it is covered by ATP binding site. Okay va? So actin binding site is there, ATP binding site is there. In the ATP binding site will not let us see the actin binding site. So ATP binding site becomes the villain. Okay, are you all against the villain or not? Let me know in the chats. So in the ATP binding site வந்து villain ஆயிருக்கும் students. So how do we remove the whole process? How do we distract this ATP? Because if ATP doesn't get distracted, then there's no way that we can make the actin binding site visible. So அதனால இங்க வந்து பார்க்கும்போது what is going to happen? So students, first we have to make sure that this ATP binding site is little distracted. So for that, what we have to do? We have to do hydrolysis. So one ATP will come and join to this region, and we have to break this ATP. Okay, we have to break this ATP. So the first step is going to be hydrolysis of ATP. That is, ATP has to be broken down to ADP plus PI. Because it's a ATP binding site. So on the ATP binding site, obviously ATP will come and bind. If they come and bind, then actin binding site வந்து visible ஆக வாய்ப்பு கிடையாது. So அதனால நம்ம வந்து என்ன பண்ணணும்? நம்ம வந்து அந்த ATP hydrolyze பண்ணணும். அந்த ATP hydrolyze ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா, then we are going to get ADP plus PI. Yes or no? So first thing we are going to do is ADP plus PI. That is, remember the myosin head also has a ATPase activity. ATPase activity is na where it has the ability to break down ATP. ATPase activity. Whenever students AS word come, remember it is something that will degrade. Protease, RNase, okay, DNase, ella AS varumbodhu or enzyme which will degrade that thing. Okay, so ATPase activity, and the ATP plus ADP plus PI has now been in the head. But Anna, if it stays in the head also, then it's a little problematic, but it's okay. Now because of this hydrolysis, the myosin head will start showing the actin binding site. So finally the father has moved. We have distracted him by breaking him. Hydrolyze panni, we have distracted him. இப்போ வந்து myosin la actin binding site and myosin actin la myosin binding site வந்து visible ஆயிருக்கு. So அவர் வந்து they form something called as cross bridge. Okay, they form cross bridge. So remember like this, they are from, one is from north, one is from south. So அதனால ஒரு cross marriage நடக்க போகுது. So like that they will form a cross bridge. So there is a cross bridge formation between the myosin and the actin. So second step வந்து formation of the cross bridge. Third step வந்து என்ன ஆகும் students, இந்த ADP and PI வந்து தலை மேல இருக்கிற time வந்து அதிகமா இருக்க கூடாது. So அதனால this ADP and PI will rush out. Okay, they will move out. Can you see that? They are moving out. இது வந்து we call it as power stroke. We call it as what? Power stroke. Because of this power stroke students, என்ன நடக்கும், இந்த myosin வந்து this actin will slide over the myosin, which I told you before, right? Because see, I am holding the head like this, one person is attached like this, imagine. Okay, wait, we will think of some practical example. My head is not a practical example. Okay, இப்போ வந்து let's imagine students, இதுதான் actin. Okay, the actin ஆச்சுன்னா இது myosin. Okay, this looks like myosin also. So look here, now like this binding has happened, cross bridge formation archer, but suddenly when the ADP and PI is moving, they are trying to leave. When they are trying to leave, head வந்து move ஆகுமே, right? If someone push me like this, my head is going to move, right? So as this people are going to, like இது வந்து touch ஆகுதுனா slip ஆகும். So அதனால imagine they both have formed the cross bridge. Now ADP and PI is trying to leave. So அவர் leave பண்ணும்போது இது மாதிரி ஒரு pressure வந்து, because of that myosin head will move. இப்போ என்ன ஆகும், actin will slide and go. Okay, புரிஞ்சதா students? So basically இப்படி இருக்கும் cross bridge formation. Now suddenly they will rush, they will try, because of that the head will move and the actin will slide and go forward. Okay, so actin will slide over the myosin because it's a thin filament, and that will lead to breaking of the cross bridge. So in the step one, the sliding illena rotation. Sliding illena rotation. Okay, va? So here we have sliding or rotation, and here you will see breaking of the cross bridge. Breaking of the cross bridge. Now the moment this bridge breaks, ATP will get to know, ATP will come and again bind, and this cycle has to continue again. So இப்படி தான் நம்ம cross bridge formation நடக்கும். So if you look at this video, you will understand it properly. Okay, wait, I will show you. Okay, so here you can see this video. Okay, look here students, what is happening. Okay, calcium has now ATP is there. Okay, ATP is there means we can't do anything. So we have to hydrolyze ATP, ADP plus PI. This ADP and PI, when they move, you can see no sliding is happening. Head is moving. Okay, again I'll show you slowly. ATP bound, nothing can happen. ADP plus PI, hydrolysis happened. Now they will bind. ADP and PI will move out, because of which myosin head will move and actin will slide over the myosin. Okay, va? So அந்த டைம்ல இங்க வந்து contraction, this contraction is happening. Can you see? In this situation, no contraction. But when they move, contraction will happen. Look here also. Can you see? Wait, I'll move. You notice it slowly. See? Okay, this is what is happening. So this is what is what, this is what is what. This is what I taught you right now. Now we will learn it with my flow chart as well. Okay. Yeah, we'll learn it with my flow chart. That is, how does this whole thing happen? Huxley and Huxley was the people who found this. Okay. Okay, இப்போ வந்து sliding filament theory students, நமக்கு வேண்டியது, we need one box. Okay, அதுக்கப்புறம் இன்னொரு box. Okay, அதுக்கப்புறம் இன்னொரு box, and அதுக்கப்புறம் இன்னொரு box. Okay, இதுதான் வேணும். Okay. After this we have only skeletal system. That is also very easy. Okay, I hope all of you are loving this chapter at the end. Okay, I want all of you to love this chapter, how much I like this chapter. So that's important for me. As a teacher, that is a win-win situation. If the chapter that I like, if you also like, that becomes like, okay, we both like the same chapter and it's a win-win for me. Okay, so students, first step வந்து என்ன நடக்கும் students? First step is going to be hydrolysis of ATP. So assume that ATP is already there in the head, okay? In the hydrolyze pananam. So hydrolyze la vande enna nadakum? In the ATP vande, it's going to be broken down to ADP plus PI. Okay, va? So head is going to have it. Because of this hydrolysis, enna nadakum? Because of this hydrolysis, nama actin binding site visible aayirukkum. So, wait, I'll write unmasking. Okay, that's the word you have to use. I told you, you cannot use some local English, you have to use fancy words. Unmasking actin binding site. Okay, va? So, unmasking actin binding site. Clear? Adhikapra enna nadakkum students? Imagine, okay? Imagine, now the cross bridge formation is about to happen, okay? That is here, cross bridge formation. In a cross bridge formation, I told you they are both from different states. What are the two states, Madri? Cross bridge formation will happen. That means myosin binding site and actin binding site will be visible. So myosin and actin binding will happen. Okay, myosin and actin binding will happen. Cross bridge formation, okay, bond. Now contraction is bound to happen, okay. Adhikapram students, suddenly what will happen? This ADP and PI cannot stay in the head because it's an ATP binding site. So adanale avaru vanda enna பண்ணுவாங்க? They will move, okay. So that will lead to power stroke of ADP. This power stroke will lead to what? Ma'am, it will lead to sliding. It will lead to sliding. So, sliding, or we say rotation nadakum. That means actin will slide over the myosin. Okay, actin will slide over the myosin. So, inga vanda ADP plus PI will leave the head. Okay, ADP and PI will leave the head. So, when they leave the head, you should understand that the myosin head is going to move, and when the myosin head moves, there is a space between these two people. That means here, students, remember cross bridge formation. That is, cross bridge has been broken. Okay, here we should remember cross bridge I don't think break is a right word. Cross bridge. Have they given any words here? English la konja kammi. Detaches. Okay. Fancy English we should use. So illiterate. Okay. Detach. Cross bridge. Detach. That means the bond between them is breaking and they're going back to their homes. Okay, all the father, brother, everything has come back and now they're like, shut up and come home over all your drama. So, cross-bridge detachment will happen, students, and because of the space between them. Okay, and the space ikaga new ATP will attach. New ATP will attach. When the new ATP attach, again the cycle will continue. Yes or no? Again we have to do hydrolysis of ATP. So this is called as your sliding filament theory. Okay. All these notes will be available in the description box. Make sure that you are downloading these notes and keeping. Sliding filament theory. Okay, well, students, clear, understood? Yes? So, remember, thin filament will slide over the thick filament, okay? Always remember that thin will always slide over thick. Okay, slides over. Okay, thin filament will slide over the thick filament. Okay, va? Understood? I hope this is clear for all of you, and that is how sliding filament theory has happened. Okay, இது வந்து ஆன்சர் பண்ணிக்கோங்க students. The heavy myromyosin is composed of globular head and short arm of the myromyosin, globular head of the myromyosin only, the short arm and the tail of the myromyosin, the ATP binding site and the tail of the myromyosin. Correct answer பண்ணனும். Think and answer. I have already taught you this, so it should be easy for you to answer. Okay. Yes, heavy myromyosin is composed of a globular head and a short arm of the myromyosin. So, adanale this the answer. Globular head, only globular head cannot come. Short arm and tail cannot come. ATP binding site and tail cannot come. So, answer one the first one irukum. Very good, those who answered. Okay. This one answer panikonga students. Recognize the figure and find out the correct matching. I told you like this question has come in the previous year. This one the A, this one the B, this one the C. Okay, correct order la label pananam. Okay, I told you A. What is A? Just look at it. Okay. B. Okay. C. Okay, I got the answer. Did you all get the answer? Take your time. Take your time. Okay, the answer is going to be A one the troponin. Okay, A one the troponin, B one the tropomyosin, C one the F-actin. So, adanale option number C is going to be the correct answer. Idu madri questions will come, so make sure that you are answering. Okay, the session PDF link will be in the description box. Make sure that you are downloading. Okay, and also I have given a 500 PYQs in my 10K celebration, so make sure that you're checking out that also. It's a 150-day plan, Verithanam plan. So on the plan description box la the 500 PYQs I have given of physics, chemistry and biology. So please download it, and the free da. So adanal download panni vechikonga. Dinam like 10 to 20 MCQ solve pannalam. Okay, next one the skeletal system. Start panlama students. Okay, I'll give a 5 minutes break here. I'll just fill water and cup. Okay, we will resume back in 5 minutes. Okay, just be here only. I'll come back in 2 minutes. If you want to join the Telegram, it's Biology by Gopika or Gopika Biology, and Instagram also is there. And also Telegram of this channel is going to be We Need Tamil Nadu. Okay, va? Hey guys, okay, just got some water. Next interesting topic we are going to do skeletal system. Okay, skeletal system, ma'am. Super duper topic. Okay, this one the super duper topic. So start pannalama. Nama skeletal system. Okay, division one enna irukum students. So skeletal system, have a nice skeleton you see. It's asking you if you all like the video. I know most of you haven't liked the video. Even the skeleton is asking you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so adanala do it faster. Okay, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, first skeletal system la vandu skeletal fibers patti pesitane or chinna paragraph tha, so that I've put it into a box. Okay, red fibers and white fibers. Yeah, mami, red fibers vandu students, they are high myoglobin. Okay, myoglobin, red color, no, so obviously it will have rich this one color, high myoglobin, red in color. Obviously this will be low myoglobin because it is white in color or pale in color, hemoglobin types. Okay, now higher number myoglobin, why we are saying, because it's of the muscle. So muscle is like, I don't want your hemoglobin name, I'll take my own name, myoglobin. So muscle la vandu myofibril, myoglobin, myofilaments adu madri. Okay, and students, high number of mitochondria. High number of mitochondria. Why? This is mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell that will help in the ATP. So here there are high number of mitochondria. Ana inga vandu low, lesser number of mitochondria. Now students can utilize large amounts of oxygen for ATP production. That means this will use large amount of oxygen. They cannot use large amount of oxygen, lesser ATP production. Okay. Now number of sarcoplasmic reticulum is low. So here one disadvantage is SR vandu kammiya irukum. If SR is kammi, then calcium will also be less. That means they cannot do immediate contractions. Contraction vandu konja slow ah da nadakum. Ana inge paakumbodhu students, SR vandu adhigama irukum. SR வந்து எப்படி இருக்கும், அதிகமா இருக்கும். ஸோ அதனால கால்சியமும் இருக்கும், கான்ட்ராக்ஷன் வந்து ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக பண்ணலாம். Slower rate of contraction for long period. So slower rate of contraction for slow period. Here faster rate of contraction for a short period. So இங்க வந்து you should understand that நம்ம red fibers வந்து நமக்கு ஒரு long marathon இருந்தா, ஒரு 21 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers marathon இருந்தா, நம்ம red fibers வந்து நம்ம அந்த full marathon ஓடுறதுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஆனால் ஒயிட் ஃபைபர்ஸ் வந்து நமக்கு ஒரு ஸ்ப்ரிண்ட் பண்ணணும். லைக் லெட்ஸ் சே சடன் ஆட் ஒரு 10 minutes, ஓகே, இல்லைன்னா ஒரு 20 minutes டான்ஸ் பண்ணணும், இல்லைன்னா ஸ்ப்ரிண்ட் பண்ணணும். அதுக்கு வந்து ஒயிட் ஃபைபர்ஸ் ஹெல்ப் ஆகும். வை? பிகாஸ் இட் கேன் கான்ட்ராக்ட் ரியலி ஃபாஸ்ட், எனர்ஜி லெஸ் மைட்டோகாண்ட்ரியா. இதில் வந்து எனர்ஜி அதிகமாக இருக்கும், பட் ஆனால் ஸ்லோவர் ரேட் ஆஃப் கான்ட்ராக்ஷன். ஸோ அந்த டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் யூ ஷுட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். ஓகேவா? ஸோ இட்ஸ் வெரி ஈஸி. ஒன் யூ ஸ்டடி, ஆப்போசிட் ஆஃப் தட் யூ ரைட் இன் த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன். நவ் யூ ஆர் கோயிங் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். நமக்கு வந்து 2 types ஆஃப் skeletal system இருக்கு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ். ஒன் இஸ் கால்ட் as a appendicular skeleton, that is our limbs. Okay, 4 limbs, hind limbs madri, leg and hand we say, no, hand and leg is there, and then we have pelvic and pectoral girdle is there. Girdle na or attachment ku help agada or system ana or loop madri. Our arms are there. To attach our arms, we need the pectoral girdle. Adu madriya our legs are there. To attach the legs, we have the pelvic girdle. So pelvic girdle will be wider for in female. So when we look at a skeleton system in a forensic illana or death after many years, nama vandu and the skeleton paakumbodhu, if the pelvic girdle is wider, namakku vandu automatically we will understand that it is a female. Why? Because so as to provide the birth. Okay, that's why I told you tailbone is like this in male, but in female it is a little tilted up so that the womb, okay, the baby can come out through the cervical canal. So adu madri da inge we have axial skeleton. Idu da my axial skeleton, where you have the skull, you have the the bone, hyoid bone is there, and then I have the sternum, I have the vertebral column. So adu madri in the portion is going to be my axial skeleton. Okay, axial skeleton, I will show you that as well. Oru nimisham students, in the mouse la I will show you. கையே மூவ் ஆகாது. 1 minute, I will show you. Yes, let me bring it here. So here you can see Okay students, இது வந்து நம்ம axial skeleton. Okay, axial skeleton this portion. Okay, 3D class தான். Okay, this portion. So நமக்கு skeleton இருக்கும், face all the facial bones, then we have the vertebral column, ribs இருக்கும், sternum. இதுதான் sternum. Okay, this is the sternum, and the tie மாதிரி இருக்குல்ல, and that's called dagger shaped actually. So அந்த dagger shaped இருக்கும். Okay, that is one. Okay, இங்க reflection அடிக்கும், 1 minute. Okay, this is what it is. Adukapram students, we will have the appendicular skeleton. Okay, this is the appendicular skeleton. Your pectoral girdle, hands, legs, pelvic girdle. Okay, in the pelvic girdle. Okay, va, idu highlight arkanam. Okay, this is also should be highlighted, pelvic girdle. So that is how, even this should be highlighted. Okay, this should be also highlighted. This triangular bone is called as scapula. Miss acha, so GIF missed it. Okay, yeah, this is your pectoral girdle, this is your pelvic girdle. Adu vandu separate highlight pannirukanga. Okay, this is understood. Okay, such a nice class. Illena, how will you learn? Okay, how will you learn? Clear? Okay, let's go. So appendicular and axial skeleton. Now we have to study one bones. Okay, students, see axial skeleton, as you can see, starting with your skeleton. Okay, so first we have axial skeleton. Okay, axial skeleton. In the total, namaka, how many bones are there? All of you tell me in the chat box. They'll be like, ma'am, I don't know, ma'am. So here 206 bones are there. In that 80 bones are going to be part of your axial skeleton, and numbers are very, very important. If you don't know numbers, they will ask you question correctly on numbers only. So in the axial skeleton, students, starting portion la vanda nama skull irukum. Okay, starting portion la vanda nama skull irukum. So skull means you will have your brain box, which is called your cranium, and your facial bones. Okay, and your facial bones. This is the mainly is there in your skull. Okay, correct, no? Skull means you have cranium and facial bones. Adukapram we will have one more portion, which is your ear ossicle. I have made a trick on that. So for all this, I'll give you a trick. Don't worry. Ear ossicles. Okay, ear ossicle bones will be there. So this is the cranium. Adukapram students, அதுக்கு கீழே வந்து ஒரு hyoid bone இருக்கும், which is also called as a tongue bone. First வந்து நம்ம NCERT-ல hyoid bone is a part of skull ன்னு மென்ஷன் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. பட் ஆனா லாஸ்ட் இயர்ல வந்து NCERT ரிவைஸ் பண்ணும்போது இது கரெக்ட் ஆச்சு. Okay, so this hyoid is going to be the tongue bone. Okay, tongue bone ஃப்ரீயா இருக்குதா? Okay, then students, as you come down, what is there? Just look there, ma'am. Sternum is there, ma'am. Okay, sternum is there, which you call as the breastbone as well. Sternum kita keela vand enna irukum students? Vertebral column. Vertebral column. So if sternum and vertebral column is there, then ribs should be obviously there. Yes, ma'am, ribs will be there, and that is how we form the rib cage. I taught you this in breathing as well. Breathing, I taught you know the entire rib cage. So like that only. So this is your axial skeleton. Skull in start பண்ணியா students, cranium இருக்கு, நம்ம brain box. அதுக்கப்புறம் facial bones இருக்கு. Okay, yes ma'am, facial bones are there. அதுக்கப்புறம் what is there? Ear ossicles are there, ear bones are there. Okay, va. And then we have hyoid bone, which is your tongue bone. Then we have sternum, we have vertebral column and the ribs. Okay, vertebral column and the ribs. Okay, now we will start with the first one. So இதுதான் நம்ம cranium bones. Okay, frontal, sphenoid, temporal, parietal, occipital, ethmoid. I will come to this. Okay, I will come to this. First I'll finish this. Okay, wait. Okay, first we will write the cranium. Okay, first of all, you should know how many bones are there. Correct? No. In cranium, how many bones are there? That is important for us. Yes, ma'am. So students, totally 8 bones will be present in the cranium, out of which 2 are going to be paired. 2 are going to be paired and rest are unpaired. Okay, rest are unpaired. Okay, va? Okay, va? So 2 will be paired, rest வந்து unpaired ஆயிருக்கும். In the cranium bones, students, ஞாபகம் வச்சிருக்கிறதுக்கு when I say some words like that, okay, it just goes like that, it continues. Okay, when I say liable like that, okay, like that, comes for me too much. So to remember this, okay, to remember this, you have to remember step off. Okay, step off. This is the trick. Okay, va? Step off. So students, in the step off, what is there in the step off? You have to understand. So imagine someone is eating your head. Okay, if someone is eating your head, brain, what will you tell? Step off. Okay, like we cannot say like get out. We have to say step off. Okay, Gen Z English, step off. So அது மாதிரி remember, okay, cranium bones வந்து step off word இருக்கும். So students, S for sphenoid bone. Okay, sphenoid bone. இந்த போனுக்கு ரொம்ப ஸ்பெஷாலிட்டி இருக்கு, that we will see slowly. Then students, T for temporal. Okay, temporal. And I erase this bone word. It's understood that it is bone. Okay. Next we have temporal. Then we have ethmoid. Okay, ethmoid. Okay, adukapram students, P parietal. Okay, adukapram occipital and inga paakumbodhu frontal. Okay, frontal. Clear? So this is what is the bone. Students, step off. Okay, you have to tell someone who is eating our brain, what will you tell? We will tell step off from my brain. So adu madira step off. Now you will be thinking, ma'am, you told two are paired, rest are unpaired. Idile which is paired, which is unpaired? So students, remember this trick to remember which is paired and unpaired. Paired and unpaired la question varumbodhu remember your PT teacher. PT teacher na school la PT teacher irukumla. PT teacher ku enna solluvaanga? Physical trainer, physical education teacher. Okay, PT teacher we say in school. Okay, I don't know the full form because in school also I never asked. But physical education related, the PE teacher, physical education teacher. Okay, and the PE teacher வந்து எப்பவுமே paired தான் இருக்கும். ஒரு female teacher இருக்கும், ஒரு male teacher இருக்கும், because in co-head it is compulsory to have a male and a female teacher. So remember like that only. நம்ம P வந்து PT teacherல P வந்து paired இருக்கும் and T கூட paired இருக்கும். So PT teacherல P and T is going to be paired. Okay va? So remember, inga paired illa students, you have parietal and temporal. Parietal and temporal. Okay va? Rest are all unpaired. So this is how you will remember step off. If I told you sphenoid has some specialities, romba speciality irukra or bone vandu sphenoid bone da. So in this bone, no, it articulates with all other bone. I'll show you the image. It articulates with all other bones. We can also call it as a keystone bone. Okay, keystone. Keystone is a word we use in geography. We use actually keystone. Okay, keystone. It articulates with all other bone, and students, இது வந்து ஒரு butterfly shaped ல இருக்கும், ஒரு bat shaped ல இல்ல butterfly shaped ல இருக்கும். And this sphenoid bone has a depression like a furrow. Okay, it has a furrow or a depression, and the furrow or depression is called as sella turcica, which I'll again teach you in chemical coordination. Sella turcica, and the sella turcica ல வந்து pituitary gland will be present. Okay, in the sella turcica, who will be present? Pituitary gland. Pituitary gland will be present. Okay va? Okay va? So sphenoid bone is a keystone bone. It articulates with all other bone, and it is also having a small depression or a furrow called as sella turcica, in which the pituitary gland is going to be present. Okay va students? So step off. Okay, step off. Ipa vanda ma'am eppadi irukum ma'am, where it is going to be present, let's understand. So I want all of you to take your hand. Okay, as I am telling, I want you to do the same. Okay, let me just wipe my hand. Yeah. Okay, start. So students, we are starting. This is how we are going to stand. Okay, this is our skull. So this is our frontal bone, which we always say, no ma'am, I have headache ma'am, I have a head pain ma'am. Inga vandu touch பண்ணும்போது இதுதான் நம்ம frontal bone. Okay, this is our frontal bone. So can you see blue color frontal bone? So this is understood. Blue color frontal bone is understood. Adhikapram, what is there, students? Green color is, that is this portion, which is your parietal. Okay, this is the parietal. Parietal வந்து paired இருக்கும். So here we have the parietal. Adhikapram இந்த கீழல வந்து இங்க occipital bone இருக்கும். Okay, here it is going to be occipital, which is going to attach to our atlas and axis. That is your vertebral column. Okay, they'll have condyle. So இங்க வந்து occipital bone இருக்கும். Okay, then back of your ears, இங்க வந்து temporal bone will be there, again paired. Okay, so frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal. Ethmoid will be this region which we cannot see. Again, sphenoid also I cannot show you like this. Okay, so just look here. In this region you will see only three things. What and all? Frontal, parietal, occipital. Frontal, parietal, occipital. Repeat after me. Frontal, parietal, occipital. Idla parietal வந்து paired ஆயிருக்கும், occipital single ஆயிருக்கும், அதுக்கப்புறம் இங்க வந்து temporal இருக்கும். Okay, this region. So you can see temporal வந்து in the red region. This is the temporal region. Okay, I'm labeling it once again because you might not be able to look at the colors and understand. So again, let's go. Okay, this is the frontal region, students. So this is the frontal. I told you I cannot show you ethmoid because ethmoid is this region. So this is your ethmoid. Okay, then I told you a bat shaped, illana butterfly shaped structure vanda nama sphenoid aayirukkum. Students, in the sphenoid bone paakumbodhe, please look here and try and understand. It articulates with all other bone. Can you see? It articulates with ethmoid. Yes, ma'am, it articulates with ethmoid. It is articulating with frontal and parietal. Yes, ma'am, it is articulating with frontal and parietal. Ma'am, it is also articulating with temporal. Yes, ma'am, it is also articulating with temporal. It is also articulating with your occipital. Yes, ma'am, it's articulating with occipital. So, in the bone, வந்து எல்லா bone கிட்ட articulate பண்ணும். That means it will go and attach to all the bones and that articulation is there, and that's why it's also called as the keystone bone. Okay, but the shape you see, students, it looks like a bat which has opened its, wings. Looks like that, no? This is how it will be. And in the bone la vandu or chinna depression irukum, and the depression la vandu sella turcica, and the depression la pituitary gland is going to be present. Okay, so this is also clear, I hope. Sphenoid bone. And then, students, this is your temporal. Okay, this is your occipital. This is the occipital. Okay, occipital, label everything. Parietal, I didn't label. So in this, parietal and temporal is going to be paired. That's why you can see 2, 2. Okay, 1 here, 2 here. Same way, 1 here, 2 here. Okay, PT teachers always come in pairs. Clear? So I hope this is clear. Frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal, ethmoid, sphenoid. Okay, ethmoid, sphenoid. So that is the step off. Okay, this is how you will remember the cranium bones. 8 bones are present. Adhikapram, we have to study the facial bones. Anna, you do not have the facial bones. Okay, you do not have to study the entire facial bones because it's not given in your NCERT anywhere, and only this diagram is given. So whatever is mentioned in the diagram, I'll teach you. Okay, let's see here. So in the diagram, they have given palatine bone, okay, lacrimal bone, which is present here near your eyes, zygomatic bone, which is also called your cheekbone. Girls smile and put the blush na, adada cheekbone. Okay, adada cheekbone. Adukapram, students, nasal bone irukum, maxilla irukum, inferior nasal cognia, mandible will be there. Maxilla, mandible will be there. Then one single bone will be there, which is called the vomer bone. Vomer bone is going to be present. So just like, you just have to go through the names. You don't have to study all the facial bones because question varada, only from the diagram, if any question comes, it is going to come. Okay, so in diagram they have given, but ma'am, how many bones are there, ma'am? That you should tell, no? Yes, correct. So facial bones are 14 of them. Okay, 14 bones. Understood? Whatever is there in the diagram, you have to study. I think some of you will ask me, ma'am, please write all the facial bones. Okay. Yes. You want to make a note? You can make a note. Otherwise, okay, yeah. So we can write this only. Okay, we can start with palatine. Okay, palatine bone. இது வந்து 2 இருக்கும். Okay, then we have lacrimal. Lacrimal 2 will be there. Then we have zygomatic cheekbone. Obviously 2 should be there. Okay, one side la cheeks இருந்தா. அதுக்கப்புறம் nasal bone. அது 2 இருக்கும். Okay, by now you should be counting. Okay, அதுக்கப்புறம் maxilla. அதுவும் 2 இருக்கும். Then students, we have inferior nasal conchae 2. Then we have vomer. Vomer வந்து சிங்கிளா இருக்கும், mandible சிங்கிளா இருக்கும். So எவ்வளோ இருக்கும் students? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. Clear? These are the bones. Okay va? So on the diagram la kudukra ella bone is there. In case they ask you, remember they'll ask you the number. Maybe they'll ask you if they're paired or unpaired. So paired and unpaired la vanda two single people just like you people are vomer and mandible. Okay, just like us is going to be vomer and mandible. Okay va? Clear to all of you? So this is the facial bone. So now we have studied so far what and all we have studied. We have studied cranium plus facial bones. Now we will study ear ossicle bones. Okay, here it is going to be 8, 8 plus 14. How much is the max? You please do. Okay, too much work for me. Yeah, ear ossicles and hyoid. So ear ossicles, one the students, I've given you a trick already. Most of you would have already watched, have watched that short. So ear ossicles lavanda, it is called as Miss Has. Miss Has. Okay, M for malleus, I for incus, S for stapes, H. இது வந்து shape. Okay, Miss Has இல்ல, Miss வந்து malleus, incus, stapes. இதெல்லாம் நம்ம bones தான். Malleus, incus, stapes. Stapes is the smallest bone. Okay, smallest bone. Then this is the shape. Okay, shape I'll write down. Okay, இது வந்து shape students. H A S. So you can remember Miss Has, style, humor, anything you can remember. Okay, so இது வந்து Miss Has. H, malleus is hammer shaped. Okay, malleus is hammer shaped. Okay, A is anvil shaped. அது வந்து பார்க்கும்போது anvil shaped. Okay, then we have stirrup. நம்ம stir பண்ணும்போது எப்படி யூஸ் பண்றோம் அதுதான் stirrup. So malleus, hammer shaped, incus, anvil shaped, stapes, stirrup shaped. Okay va? So this is stirrup shape, this is anvil shape, this is hammer shape. Hammer madri, stirrup madri. Okay. Then students, talking about your hyoid bone, which is one of the controversial topics, but Anna ipo vanda it is cleared. So hyoid bone is a bone which is present in the above the buccal cavity. It's not a part of the skull. Okay, it's a single bone. Okay, it's a single bone or the tongue bone which is not a part of the skull. It is a free bone. Adhanalla and the controversy on there. It is a U-shaped bone present at the base. U-shaped bone present at the base of buccal cavity. Okay, it is important. Okay, hyoid bone, one U-shaped bone which is present at the base of the buccal cavity, which is not part of the skull. Is okay va students? Miss Has, ear ossicles, hyoid. Okay, Miss Has, malleus, incus, stapes. Okay, malleus, incus, stapes, and your anvil, stirrup, hammer shape, stirrup shape, and anvil shaped. Okay, clear? Yes ma'am, clear. Clear. Okay, yes, this is done. So far how much students? Ear ossicles on the ear ossicles, we have 3 bones on one side. That means we have 2 ears, so we are going to have total of 6 bones. Okay, this one the 6 bones irukum. This one the single bone, so only 1 bone. Okay, 1 bone. So 6 bones and this one. So total here, keep adding here. Okay, We got 6 plus 1. Please put down in the comments how much it is. Okay. Next one, the vertebral column. Vertebral column. Nama vertebral column inge start till it will go here. Now all of you can bend. Yes ma'am, I can bend. Why? Because between the bones there are cartilage that is present, which is allowing you for that movement to happen. Okay. So nama vertebral column ka formula irukku students. Vertebral column ka oru formula irukku. That is, first you have your cervical bone, which is around 7 in number. Okay. Adukapram thoracic bone is there, which is 12 in number. Adukapram lumbar is there, which is 5 in number. Then we have sacrum, that is 5 in number, and 𝐶𝐽 4 in number. So this is the formula. In the formula use pani, if you see, we have here total how much will come in babies. Okay, in babies one, the students, in the sacrum and 𝐶𝐽 will not be fused to form the tailbone. So adanale babies la vandu namakku 33 bones irukum. Babies la vandu 33 bones irukum, because this will not fuse with each other. Okay, not fused. Then if you write in adults, what is the formula? Idutha cervical 7 bones will be there, thoracic vandu 12 bones irukum, lumbar la vandu 5 bones irukum, ana sacrum la 5 bones 𝐶𝐽 la 4 bones vandu fuse it will become single bones. Okay, it will become single. Namakku vandu single we can write it, just write one also. This will together form the tailbone. Okay, sacrum and 𝐶𝐽 tailbone. So in adults namakku paakumbodhu we have 26 bones. Adults paakumbodhu we have 26 bones. So this is in infants. Infants will have 33 bones. Idukku vandu adults. Okay, adults vandu 26 bones. Okay va? Clear? Easy? Okay, so this is the vertebral column. All of you know your vertebral column goes like this and goes like this. Okay, this is the framework. Inga vandu tailbone present aayirukkum. Okay, and here students, I want to tell you one thing. Your occipital was there. No, here. Where is it? Yeah, your occipital bone will have 2 occipital condyle. Okay, that is basically for the attachment. Again, I'll teach you in further. So remember, this occipital will have occipital condyles. Okay, this is the one that is helping in the attachments. Or madri, idu madri irukum. Okay, like this. 2 condyles will be there. This is going to help us attach to the vertebral column. Okay, so this is dicondylic. So occipital will have like that. So this is the entire NCERT, which I've made like one short notes and I've added here. So cervical bones are 7 bones, students. Adala first and second bone vanda correcta theriyanam. First bone is called as atlas. Second bone is called as axis. Okay, first you look at, so idu madri you can do. I'll give you all like, funny trick. First, if you look at an atlas only, you will be able to access to any of the place. So, adamadri, first one, the atlas. Geography, la atlas book is there. No, like that. Okay, book is there. Geography. So, atlas and then axis. So, atlas, adukapra axis. C3 to C7. Okay, then cervical vertebrae 3 to 7. So first 2 you will tell atlas and axis. Adukapram C3, C4, C5, C6, C7 na kupidla. Adukapram students, thoracic vertebrae very simple, T1 to T12. T1 to T12. Remember, where is kidney present? Kidney is present from the T12 to lumbar 3. Correct or not? Okay, that is why your kidney is going to be present. So this is what I told you that I'll teach you while I'm teaching you the locomotion. So inga paakumbodhu students, lumbar vandu L1 to L5, lumbar vertebrae. So L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. Okay, then we have sacral vertebrae 5 fused bone, so sacrum, and 𝐶𝐽 vertebrae 4 fused bone, coccus. This will teach you. This is the tailbone. So here you can see atlas and axis is there, then your cervical bones are there, then thoracic bones are there, lumbar is there, lumbar is the strongest, and then tailbone is there. Nama by mistake, let's say we fall into swimming pool, illana someone pushed us, illa when we are going to sit on a chair, someone moved the chair, and if we fall down in that pressure, nama tailbone da first injure agum, and tailbone injury is something that will take lifelong to cure. Like adilla or cure illa students, because and the pain vandu retrieve agum, like it will keep coming back. Okay, pain will keep coming back. So adanale when you go out with your friends also, make them understand that it is a very sensitive part, so we should not play around like this where we pull the chair or something like that and another person will get hurt. Because nama vandu, even you guys might do that, ma'am, friends, no ma'am, what is there, we all have fun. Okay, But ana enna nadakum students, because of this issue vanda many people I know who has damaged their tailbone, who has fallen in a swimming pool, illana chair push pannita friends would have done for fun, adanala tailbone illana or accident, bike in veenita like bike in slip eye, that also can cause tailbone accident, okay, like tailbone injury. So yes, so this is the cervical vertebrae given in your NCERT, okay. Cervical vertebrae C1 to C7. Adala 2 is important for you. Atlas, first you should look at the atlas, then only you can access, okay, atlas and axis. So this atlas will be articulating with your what is that, occipital condyle, okay. Clear, articulation will happen. Now students, here invertebral disc will be there. That is why they tell no disc has moved during any games or in olden age disc movement, they'll tell no, that is because of this. So look here, sacrum and coccygeal together forms the tailbone. This is how the tailbone will look. In females it is going to be a little outwards, for males it is going to be a little more inwards, okay, little more inwards. And students, okay, atlas and axis, ma'am, how do all the bones come to each other? So atlas and axis la students, axis la vandu oru head like structure irukum, and the head like structure is called as odontoid process. In the odontoid process vandu idu maadhiri insert agum atlas la, okay, idu maadhiri insert agum. So idu da nama atlas. In the odontoid process vandu idu maadhiri attach ayi, they are going to articulate together, okay. Idu vandu directly it will attach to the occipital condyle. Clear, understood? Next one is going to be sternum. Sternum and the important, why? Because sternum is the main person who is going to help in the rib cage formation. So on the rib cage complete formation ku sternum da it is helping. So students, sternum la usually paakumbode I feel like it is tie shaped, okay, but no one believes, okay. Tie illa tie, nama school la katti pora tie, and the tie madri irukku, but nana people say it is dagger shaped. So adanala even I'll tell dagger shaped, okay. I'm forced by the society to tell that, okay. So it is dagger shaped. Dagger na, that tool that we use like a knife types, okay, it is dagger shaped. In the sternum students has 3 parts, okay, enna irukum 3 parts irukum. This is the first part, this is the second part, this is the third part, okay. So now ma'am, should I remember all these parts very clearly? But it is very easy. First part vandu prosternum, enna irukum prosternum, adukapram mesosternum, அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன இருக்கும் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், sphenoid process. pronunciation அங்கே இங்கேயும் கொஞ்சம் சேஞ்ச் ஆகிருக்கலாம். ஸோ prosternum, mesosternum, sphenoid process. ஸோ இதுதான் parts of the sternum. In the sternum it is present in the ventral side of your body. Remember that, okay? Present in the ventral side. In the sternum we have also studied in breathing and exchange. Yes or no? We have studied while formation of rib cage. So in the sternum, the students, it helps in the formation of the rib cage. Okay, formation of rib cage, it will help in the formation of rib cage. Rib cage is important, and remember our vertebral, the ribs are there, no? This ribs also will be dicephalic. There are 2 regions where they will be able to attach. In your region they will attach, and backside also they will be attaching, no? So it goes like this and it goes like this. So adanala they will be dicephalic, okay, dicephalic. Clear? Understood? Okay, this is your sternum, dagger shaped bone. We also call it the breastbone, okay, we also call it the breastbone. So this is your prosternum. Sternum avloda, okay, nothing much to study. Okay, inga paakumbodhu students, we have ribs. Ribs na, we are almost coming to the end of the chapter. Ribs na, true ribs irukku, false ribs irukku. All of you can feel your ribs. Yes, if you're very skinny, you can feel your ribs very well. If you're a little chubby, then you will not feel your ribs. So that's okay. If a ribs one, the students, how ribs are there? These are all the ribs that you're seeing, okay? These are the ribs that you're seeing. See, this is ribs, okay? This is ribs. This is ribs. So you can see ribs, one portion is attached to the sternum and the other portion will be attached to the vertebral column. So now depending on the students, we have something called as true ribs, false rib and floating ribs. True ribs, false rib and floating ribs. So look here. First we will write true ribs. Okay, true ribs. Yenna ma'am, true ribs. True ribs, students, basically ribs. Why are we calling true, false and all that? It is because of their attachment. Okay, here I am writing attachment towards the sternum. So based on how the attachment is happening, like are they attaching, are they not attaching, they have been categorized into true ribs, false rib, floating ribs. So in the true ribs, the range vandu students from 1 to 7. 1 to 7th rib vandu, it is called as the true rib. It is called as true rib. Ma'am, why but you are calling it true rib? It is attached? Yes, it is attached. Okay, it is attached ventrally to sternum and dorsally to vertebral column. Exactly where? To the thoracic vertebrae. Okay, we see na vertebral column. Okay, you can write thorax also. Okay, vertebral column. Okay, wow. Now students, this ribs can also be called as one more name, vertebrosternal ribs. Yeah, na? Vertebrosternal ribs. Okay, wow. By the way, how was Vijay Kumar sir's class? Did you all watch Vijay sir's class? Any feedbacks you want to give? Always you are free to let us know, but don't be rude. Okay, you can give feedbacks, but Anna, you should never be rude. Okay, I always tell you this, we have to be good to people. Okay, so vertebrosternal ribs. Adhikapra students, next we have false ribs. False ribs. Enna mami, false ribs na. True students they will subscribe, they will like, they will always watch every single video. False once in a while they'll come and go and then they'll put a comment adhikapuram they will be vanished for another 6 months. Are the false students. So adu madiri the false rib students from the 8th. Okay, here this you can see no till 1 to 7 is true ribs. Then you have 8th, 9th and 10th ribs. Okay. 8th, 9th and 10th ribs வந்து false ribs இருக்கும். False. Okay, false ribs. Idhukku ma'am, why you calling it false ribs? Okay, that is because students it is attached dorsally to vertebral column but ventrally to hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage. That means what it is doing students, it is attaching to the hyaline cartilage of the 7th rib. So instead of directly me going and keeping a book, what am I telling? I'm telling my friend to go and keep the book. Or let's say someone is directly holding me. Instead of directly holding me, they are holding to my elbow. Instead of directly going and holding on this bottle. Okay, just imagine, instead of directly going and holding to this bottle, one person is holding my elbow. Adu madrida. So false rib la enna nadakum students. Here you can see in the image also. Okay, here you can see what is happening. True ribs are connected 1 to properly, dorsally, ventrally, everything connection is happening. And if you see from here, okay, you will notice that this 3 ribs, okay, your 8th, 9th and 10th rib is attaching to the 7th rib, telling that you attach to the sternum. I don't want to directly attach to the sternum. Understood? He is attaching dorsally to the thoracic vertebrae, but ventrally is like, I don't want to attach directly to sternum. I will just hold you. Like, I will just attach to the hyaline cartilage of the 7th one. You attach the rest. So, that is why the 7th one is attaching to the sternum. With the help of this, these people are just attaching towards it. Okay, so that is why we call it the false rib. That's why we call it the false rib. This is also called as, sorry. Here students, I call it vertebrosternal because it's attaching to the sternum. Here I will call vertebrochondral because it's attaching to the cartilage actually. So vertebrochondral ribs. Okay, they can ask you true ribs, false ribs, or they can ask you with this name. Now last one, the floating ribs. Okay, floating ribs. என்ன மேம் floating ribs. Floating ribs என்ன students? இதுதான் attached dorsally to the vertebral column. Correct தான். But ஆனா ventrally they are not attached to anything. At least this fellow is attached to the 7th rib. This fellow is not attached to anything. So ventrally they are completely free. Ventrally free. Okay. Ventrally they are free. Dorsally they are attached to the vertebral column. So because of that we call this person as vertebral ribs. That's it. No chondral, no sternum, nothing. Just vertebral ribs. Okay, va? This is clear. So this is number, ma'am. Number. Yes, number is going to be students 11th and 12th ribs. Okay, 11th and 12th ribs. So here you can see. Can you see this too? Floating. They're not at all attached anywhere. They're not at all attached anywhere. They're free. They're just living freely in the sternum. Okay. One more you can see, but you cannot see properly like this. Can you see here? It's not attached anywhere. Like this. They're free. They're not attached anywhere. So we have 12 ribs. Okay. 12 ribs we have. 12, 12, 24 we have. Okay. So we have rib cage வந்து என்ன இருக்கும் students? Sternum இருக்கும், vertebral column இருக்கும், and then the ribs will be there. Clear? That's how we form the, so this is the entire rib cage. We say no, oh my god, rib cage broke. So அது மாதிரி சொல்லும்போது இதுதான் rib cage. Clear to all of you? Any doubts here? Any doubts here? True ribs are going to be 1 to 7th ribs. Okay. Then we have false ribs. 8th, 9th and 10th. Okay. Then we have floating ribs. 11th and 12th. Okay, floating ribs on the 11th and 12th. Okay, va? Understood this? Easy, right? Yes, ma'am. Super duper easy. Okay. Now, students, we have to start with the appendicular skeleton. So, நம்ம வந்து total பண்ணும்போது இங்கே we have, what and all did we do so far? Okay. We have vertebral column. How much we have? 26 bones. Okay. So we have vertebral column, which is 26 bones. Then we have sternum, that is 1 bone. Okay. Then we have rib cage, that is 24 bones. So what is the total? Phone use பண்ணலாம். Okay. Total பார்க்கணும். One second. 8 plus 14 plus 6 plus 1 plus 26 plus 1 plus 24. Okay, yes, 80 bones. Okay, va? 80 bones. Correct. We have completed our axial skeleton with 80 bones. So no one should have any doubt later. Okay, ma'am, where is the one bone? Ma'am, one bone of mine is missing. If it is missing, then I'm going to scold you people. Okay, next one students is going to be appendicular skeleton. So appendicular skeleton na vandu okay, appendicular skeleton. Appendicular skeleton means the one that is your hand, legs, okay, all of that, appendicular skeleton. So remember that your appendicular skeleton has basically, it has the pectoral girdle, okay, pectoral girdle. We have pelvic girdle. Okay, then we have, there is bones of limbs, 4 limbs and, okay, bones of limbs. Okay, this is what we have. Okay, va? bones of limbs. This is what we have. First, we are going to start with the hind, that is your hands. Okay, hands. So here, students, look here, your 4 limbs. It's very easy to remember. Very, very easy to remember because I'm going to make it super duper easy for you. Look here. How are you CM Pandu? Okay, how are you CM Pandu? In the how are you CM Pandu la vande H, R, U, C, M and P. This one is important. H, students, for humerus. Okay, R for radius, U for ulna, C for carpal, M for metacarpal, P for phalanges. Okay, va? So, humerus, radius, ulna, carpal, metacarpal and phalanges. So, how are you CM Pandu? Very simple question. Eppadi irukkinga? So, how are you CM Pandu? In the number one, the important students, humerus one the single, radiusum single, ulnaum single, ana carpals one the 8, metacarpals one the 5, phalanges one the 14. Okay, this is the total. Evlo irukum? 30 irukum. 30 dane? Okay. So 30. How? This is your humerus. Okay, this is the humerus. So how are you CM Pandu? Start, take your hands, all of you. Take your hands, all of you, all of you, all of you, all of you, all of you. So this is the humerus. Okay, adukapra radius. Okay, ulna, radius. Inge feel agada. Inge, here. That is your carpals. Okay, 8 bones will be there. And the carpals irukum. Adukapra metacarpals. Metacarpals are 5. This one, what you're feeling here. Here, can you feel metacarpals 5 are there? 5. And these are your phalanges. If you pakumbodhu one finger la, you have 3. 1, 2, 3 phalanges. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 phalanges are going to be there. Okay, va? So, how are you CM Pandu? Humerus, radius, ulna, carpal, metacarpal, phalanges. Inga pakumbodhu students, you have, this is your humerus. Okay, this is your radius and ulna. Radius and ulna. Radius is the one that is going towards the thumb. Ulna is the one that is going towards the little finger, like that you can remember. Then we have carpals here. Can you see one group of carpals are going to be there, which is 8 of them. Then we have metacarpals and then we have phalanges. Easy, no? Appendicular skeleton, nothing to even remember so much. Okay, super duper easy. Clear? Next one is going to be, students, your legs. Okay, which are the bones in the legs. For this also, ma'am, can you please give trick? I have made a very funny trick. Fly, Tarzan, fly, Tarzan, mountains, and plateau. Or planet. Little different my Tarzan is. Okay, it's not made by any marvels or anything. Konja different da. Mountain, planets, ellame it can try. Okay. Fly la vanda femur. Okay. T la vanda tibia. F la vanda fibula. T la vanda tarsals. M la vanda metatarsals. Okay. P la vanda phalanges. Okay, phalanges. Okay, va? So here number, students, again important. Femur vanda 1, tibia vanda 1, fibula vanda 1, tarsals vanda 7, metatarsals vanda 5, phalanges vanda 14. Ma'am, என்ன ma'am tarsals வந்து கம்மியா இருக்கு? Yes, tarsals are கொஞ்சம் கம்மி. Okay, tarsals are கொஞ்சம் கம்மி. Tarsals are little less. What is happening? This is not moving. Okay. So, students, here, ma'am, you will be like, ma'am, only 29 bones are there then. Yes, only 29 bones are there. And remember, students, femur is the longest bone. Okay, longest bone. Smallest bone was stapes. Longest bone is femur. Thigh bone, we say. So, students, inga vanda 29 bones irukum. 29 bones plus 1 patella. Patella na kneecap. Kneecap, yeah. Okay. So total will be 30 bones. Okay, 30 bones. So one leg you have 30 bones, another leg you will have 30 bones. So total of 60 bones. Okay, 60 bones. Okay, one big surprise is coming for all of you. I told you, 7 days challenge, and the 7 days challenge follow panina. At the end of 7 days challenge, or a gift kedakkum. Okay, romba very thought process ana or gift. Okay, thought process ana or gift. So I want all of you to follow. Okay, 30 bones, 60 irko. Clear? So this is your femur, thigh bone, tibia, fibula. So here you can see femur. Okay. This is your tibia, fibula, tarsals, metatarsals, phalanges. Okay, easy, Fly Tarzan, mountains and planets. Fly Tarzan, mountains and planets. Clear? Understood? Okay, students, so nama the chapter last. Okay, we are coming to an end of it. So now we are going to study nama pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle na nama shoulder la irukile. So to attach this limbs, okay, if I want to attach this limbs, I need to have my pectoral girdle or not? Yes, ma'am, you have to have something to attach it. Otherwise, how is it going to attach? So here you can see, students, here we have a clavicle, okay, which is also called as collarbone. Have you heard people say that beauty bone, collarbone, adada collarbone, okay? And then here you can see one acromion process is there, and then we have coracoid process, no need, glenoid cavity. Okay, I'll tell you everything in detail. So this what you're seeing, this what you're seeing, look here, I'll show you. See what you're seeing here, this one is your scapula. This is your clavicle, which is called as your collarbone. You can feel your collarbone. Okay, and this is the triangular structure. Now we will see what is given in NCERT. Okay, what is given in NCERT. See here. Pectoral and pelvic girdle bones help in the articulation of the upper and the lower limbs, respectively, with the axial skeleton. Each girdle is formed of two halves. What? Each girdle is formed of, students, two halves. Girdle means it cannot be one full, no. It has to be one half and another half. Otherwise, how will it be attached like this? Like this you will walk. No. So one half here, one half here. Same thing goes with pelvic girdle. One half here, one half here. Okay. So axial skeleton, each girdle is formed of two halves. Each half of the pectoral girdle consists of, what and all does it consist of? It consists of clavicle. In the clavicle the collarbone, okay, and the scapula. In the scapula the this space here you can feel it. Okay, inga touch பண்ணும்போது feel ஆகும் ஒரு triangular structure. Scapula is a large triangular flat bone situated in the dorsal part of the thorax between the second and the seventh rib. So எங்க present ஆயிருக்கும், students? Between the second and the seventh rib of the thorax. Okay, and the dorsal flat triangular body, scapula, has a slightly elevated ridge. Elevated na oru chinna oru portion which is called the spine. Namakku adu feel agu ipdi touch பண்ணும்போது oru projected region irukku, adudha spine. Okay, this will come as question, so make sure that you're studying. Which projects as a flat expanded process called as the acromion process. So first we have acromion process. Okay, now the clavicle will articulate with this below. So students, nama scapula and clavicle ko attachment irukkunamme, adudha acromion process. Ipo nama entire pectoral girdle has to attach to my humerus. Okay, how are you, CM Pandu? Adukku the glenoid cavity is going to be present. Enna irukum? Glenoid cavity. So below the acromion is a depression called as glenoid cavity, which articulates with the head of the humerus to form the shoulder point. So namak inge oru ball and socket movement irukku because of the glenoid cavity. Okay, each clavicle is a long slender bone with two curvatures. This bone is commonly called as the collarbone. This is commonly called as what? The collarbone. Okay, so go back here, just look here, what did they say? See, to attach this scapula, we have here acromion process. To attach in the humerus, inga glenoid cavity irukku. Nama Barbie doll. Okay, how many of you have played with the Barbie doll? And the Barbie doll kuda when you are playing, nama hand remove pannulla. Appa hand remove பண்ணும்போது, students, have you seen one structure like this? இதுதான் நம்ம glenoid cavity. So that to fit into the glenoid cavity, this head of the humerus is given like this, so it can fit in. Okay, so what now you have to remember? Clavicle, collarbone, scapula, triangular structure. It has an elevated ridge called spine, and acromion will attach the clavicle and the scapula. அதுக்கப்புறம் glenoid cavity will be present to attach the humerus. இதுதான் the final. Okay va? Okay, understood this much? Okay, we call that the collarbone. அதுக்கப்புறம் students, pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle na என்ன ma'am? Pelvic girdle na நமக்கு hip bones இருக்கு. ஐயோ, okay, நமக்கு hip bones இருக்கு. இதுதான் நம்ம hip bone. Okay, இதுதான் நம்ம hip bone. Sacrum இருக்கு, coccygeal இருக்கு. Together forms the tailbone. இப்போ what are we going to study about? We are going to study about this hip bone. Pelvic girdle. என்ன ma'am pelvic girdle? Let's see. Pelvic girdle consists of two coxal bones. So students, one portion this side, one portion this side. All of you keep your hand on the hips. One portion this side, one portion this side. Okay, wow. Each coxal bone is formed by fusion of three bones. Enna fusion? Fusion of three bones. Which are the three bones? Ilium, okay, ilium, ischium and pubis. Enna irukum? Ilium, ischium, pubis. So how do you remember this? Trick irukka ma'am? Elladukkume trick venuma. I play in class. Do you all play in class? Yes ma'am, I also play in class. So I play in class la I vandu ischium, P vandu pubis, I vandu ilium. Ilium, ischium, pubis. In the ilium and the students, you also study in the digestion. Ilium, column, rectum. Okay. So, class of students, together it forms the coxal bone. Okay. Or we can say coxa. So, coxal bone. Okay. I'll write coxal bone only. Coxal bone. So, I play in class. Ilium, ischium, pubis. Together forms coxal bone. Two parts are there. One is this, one is this. Together forms the pelvic girdle. Okay. Wow. At the point of fusion of the above bones, there is a cavity called as acetabulum, to which the thigh bone. So, நமக்கு glenoid cavity இருந்துச்சுல அங்க அது மாதிரி ஒரு acetabulum இருக்கு, where the thigh bone, நம்ம femur இல்ல students, அந்த femur attach பண்றதுக்கு. Okay. Now, the two halves of the pelvic girdle meet ventrally to form the pubic symphysis. Okay. Containing the fibrous cartilage. Is this clear to all of you? Yes or no? So, they are saying that we form the coxal bone. Either a coxal bone, either a coxal bone. How is it made up of? It is made up of one part which is called as ilium, second part which is called as pubis, and third part which is called as the ischium. So, idu moonume சேர்ந்துட்டு it is forming the coxal bone. Okay va? Together it's forming the coxal bone. Okay va students? This is understood, right? Easy no to remember? Yes or no? Easy. Ilium, ischium, pubis together forms the coxal bone. So, one coxal bone here, one coxal bone here. Okay. 3 bones will involve to form coxal bone. Inga vandu 6 bones irukum. Okay. 6 bones irukum. Here. Now, next topic vandu nama joints. Okay. Nama joints students basically namakku 3 categories are there. One joint which is not going to allow. Joint na two things to join together. Okay. Nama junction madri joint. In the joint if movement has to happen, movement shouldn't happen. அது எல்லாமே decide பண்ணும். So, அதனால here you should understand that the joint that does not allow any kind of movement. I want to do any kind of movement. This joint will be like, no, I will not allow for any kind of movement. That is called as the fibrous joint. But ஆனா ஒரு கொஞ்சம் movements பண்ண முடியுமா? Cartilaginous joint. Last one is synovial joint. நம்ம ஃபேமிலியில இது மாதிரி தான் நம்ம parents. Some of your parents will be very, very strict, who doesn't let you go out, who doesn't let you do anything. Some of your parents will be okay, like my parents. Like they will allow you to go out, but then still they will ask you, where are you, whom are you with, what, like that. Then there will be one set of parents who give all the freedom to the kids. You want to go, you go. You don't want to come, don't come. Adu madri. So, adu madri tha. First one does not allow any kind of movement. Second one allows like a limited movement. Third one allows maximum movement. Okay, va? So, fibrous joint students, fibrous joint do not allow any movement. This type of joint is shown by the flat skull bones which fuse end to end with the help of a dense fibrous connective tissue called form of a suture. Okay. And this forms the cranium. Idhu dhaan nama sutures. Okay. Idhu dhaan nama sutures students. See. So this is the fibrous joint. Can you move your skull? Can you tell that, you know, cerebral hemispheres move that side, this side, or you want to say like inside, your cranium is there. Imagine you want to say, you know, your parts to move. You cannot ask your frontal bone, occipital bone to move up and down. It will not happen. So these are called as immovable joints. Okay, the fibrous joints are the immovable joints. Example one, the sutures is the example. Okay, va? Fibrous joint one, the example enna irukum? Sutures. Okay, sutures. This one the strict parent, romba strict parent. Okay, I'm writing here strict so you remember. Now notes paakumbodhu you should be able to remember. Adhikapra students look here. Romba adhigama reflection varudha. 1 second. Because of the screen in the front. Okay, now better. So in cartilaginous joint, okay, inge enna nadakum students? In cartilaginous joints, the bones involved are joined together with the help of cartilage. The joint between the adjacent vertebrae in the vertebral column of this pattern, and it permits limited movement. So inga vande enna nadakum? Limited movement irukum. So nama vertebral column vande bone structure alla students. So in between that, there is going to be cartilage that is present, which is flexible, which is going to allow you to bend, lift something, stretch. And the madri movements there will be presence of this cartilage. So that second one is called as the parents who gives limited movement. Like you go out, but tell me with whom you are going out. Okay. Like this, example, vertebral. Here they have told adjacent vertebrae, vertebral column, cartilage in the, so, okay, this is like not so strict, not so cool. Okay, adu madri or mediocre middle level parents, okay, they are the most confusing parents in the planet. So can you see, in the madri cartilage will be present. Because of this cartilage, namakku idu madri movements ella panna mudiyum. Illana bones will not allow, no. So the cartilages are present between the vertebral column. Can you see this? These are the cartilages. Cartilage. Okay, va? Understood? Fire emoji in the chat box. Likes are coming. Yes or no? Everything is perfect. So this is the cartilage. See, this is the cartilage. Okay, understood? Understood. Now, synovial joints, the more freedom parents. Okay, they're like, okay, we trust you, you do whatever you want, it is fine for us. Adu madri. So synovial joints are characterized by the presence of fluid filled synovial cavity. Enna irukum students? Fluid filled synovial cavity irukum between the articulating surface of two bones. So joints, here we have synovial joint which allows more movements. Okay, this is romba important. Lot of times PYQs has come from this topic. So make sure that you are studying this. Okay, now look here. These joints help in locomotion and many other movements. Example one, the students, first is ball and socket. Ball and socket joint, that is between the humerus and the pectoral girdle. Ball and socket, okay, correct, ball and socket movement. So first one, the ball and socket, between who and who? Between humerus and the pectoral girdle. Adhikapram students, hinge joint. Hinge na nama door la irukra hinge. Hinge joint na example vande knee joint a irukum. Knee joint. Okay, idu madri, like when I kick. Okay, knee joint. Adhikapra students, pivot joint. Pivot joint na between atlas and axis. Okay, pivot joint na between atlas and axis. This movement is because of that. Gliding joint. Gliding, just remember carpals. Okay, carpals are so many of them, they will glide over each other. So adanala gliding. Okay, so gliding joint, that is going to be between the carpals. Okay, gliding between the carpals. Then we have saddle joint. Sad. Who is sad? Carpal and metacarpal is very sad. Okay, so first we have ball and socket. Ball and socket joint. Clear? Ball and socket joint is between whom and whom? Humerus and a pectoral girdle. Okay, then we have what, students? We have hinge joint, which is a knee joint. Okay, then we have what? Pivot joint. atlas and axis. Okay, then we have gliding. Gliding na carpals. Okay, who are sad? People who are together are sad. So that means metacarpals and carpals. Okay, va? Understood this? Yes or no? Clear? Okay, understood, right? So this is the whole thing. I hope this is clear. So this you have to write and study, otherwise you will forget it. I am telling you now itself, if you don't write and study, you will never remember it, because here only match the following questions will come. Many match the following questions will come. So make sure that you are looking through it. Okay, you are looking through it and you are writing and studying multiple times. Okay, multiple times. This is the synovial membrane, this is the joint. Okay, now students, when synovial joint, let's say synovial fluid is less, okay, as we age, it will happen. So because of that only people get joint pain a lot. Okay, adhu joint pain is because of this only. Next one, the last topic da number diseases. Okay, diseases one, the first, all these diseases are important because locomotion and movement 2025 also match the following came from diseases. Okay, first one is myasthenia gravis. Okay, myasthenia gravis, it is an autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune students, that means the ones where the our body will start attacking our own cells. Okay, that means it will attack its self cells. It will attack the self cells. That means our own cells will attack our own cells. Nama family la imagine panigo, family itself start hitting each other. Adu madri tha, self cells. Autoimmune disorder affecting the neuromuscular junction. So you can imagine, neuromuscular junction is very important. If that is not there, then contraction of muscles won't happen. So weakening and paralysis of the skeletal muscles. Weakening and paralysis of the skeletal muscle. Other couple of students, muscular dystrophy. Muscular dystrophy and myasthenia gravis, many of you get confused. Myasthenia gravis, graveyard, remember, autoimmune disorder. Okay, muscular dystrophy, progressive, that means slowly, okay, continuously moving, progressive degeneration of skeletal muscle, mostly due to genetic disorder. Okay, this is genetic disorder, that is autoimmune disorder, difference irukku. Okay, this next one students, tetany. Tetany na rapid spasm. Nama ipa contraction relaxation, I am able to do it easily. And just imagine, contract pannidi relax panna mudiyala. Easier relax panna mudiyala. Adu da tetany. That is because rapid spasm. Okay, rapid spasm. Spasm means what? Muscle catch. Okay, rapid spasm or wild contraction in the muscles due to low calcium. Muscles will let's say we do this, then it will not relax very easily. Then students, arthritis, which is inflammation of joints. Inflammation of joints. Arthritis means what? Inflammation of joints. Clear? Next one, the osteoporosis. Pore formation. Okay, age related disorder due to the decreased bone mass and increased chances of fracture. That is why old age, our grandparents and all, they get fractures very easily because of osteoporosis, because bone mass vanda kammi agum, and in women it is higher because estrogen becomes less, and when estrogen becomes less, you know the graph will fall down. Estrogen becomes less, automatically the bone mass will reduce. That's why after 40 years they say we should do strength training, muscle. Okay, then students, gout, inflammation of joints due to accumulation of uric acid crystals. Okay, inflammation of joints, that is due to the accumulation of uric acid crystals. Romba painful ana or disease, gout. Okay, romba painful. So that is the whole thing. Okay, clear? So chapter is done and dusted. Now let me just show you the playlist, because most of you don't know where to find the playlist. Okay, I'll show you here. One second, students. Yes. So here you can see, okay. So here you can see what is happening. Here, see the playlist, students. So this is the playlist where you will get all the one-shot videos. Okay, we will be updating this playlist. More one-shot videos you can see. And if you go to under videos, I have made some important videos, and now I'll tell you one thing. The most important video for all of you is going to be this video. Okay, it's already got 6.7 question types revealed. Very important new pattern. எந்த மாதிரி questions try பண்ணணும், எந்த மாதிரி questions prepare பண்ணணும்னு ரொம்ப important. So அதனால இந்த question வந்து correctா you have to solve. Okay வா? So this you have to watch at any cost, and this is for droppers. Whoever droppers were asking me for timetable, I have made this, and make sure that you have 89 seconds of your life, because this has something that I have not told in any of my videos. So make sure that you're watching all this as well. And how to revise 5x faster, very important. Okay, clear? This is the whole thing. You can see every video is made for your own help. So make sure that you're going through the entire channel. Physics also I started on the channel, and already you would have seen Sir's class. So yes, thank you so much, students. See you all in the next class. Make sure that you are going to the description box and downloading the notes without fail, and also joining the Telegram. We need Tamil Nadu. So next time, let's see. Till then, take care. Bye bye. See you all.